Do you remember when we first met? Well, I don't, but I remember how wet you get. But I won't disrespect you by dwelling on the physical aspect. Don't roll your eyes, cause we better than that shit. I'm talking about long life, being your boy's wife. A couple youngins running in the backyard. And my lord, you're still looking great, honey. And my God, you still can shake what make money. It's so vivid, can you picture it? Yeah, well tell me, do you think this ring fits? Word, your love is like the ultimate herb. You got me foot to the ass and the rest of the curb. It's like nothing to do, only for you I kneel and forget the brick. Love is the house we're building, the picket fence with the swing on the tree, with the words carved in it saying love is we.
There you are, close enough to touch but still too far, because you're not mine yet. Stimulated by the conversation, mere presence. Other women ask what relation, none of the essence. Oh, who's that? She's a C, but you come first, like the A before the B. When you're gone, I wilt like a willow. Lie there and smell the scent you left on my pillow. A strong mind with the body to match. I won't bite if you promise not to scratch. You keep it real, just like the truth. Closer than twins, standing in the phone booth. Inspirational, treasured like a gift. What's success without someone to share it with? I used to be a dog, now a cool cat chasing cheese. And I blame Eloise.
Eloise on my mind. Eloise on my mind. Eloise. Eloise on my mind. Eloise on my mind. Eloise. Eloise on my mind. Eloise on my mind. Eloise on my mind. Eloise. Eloise on my mind. Eloise.
People everywhere wants to know her name. Her body is the essence and her claim to fame. She's got game, it ain't the same. She's got plenty, packing more good times that you might call a penny. Get caught up with the thoughts of flying overseas, making all of the cheese, spending time with Eloise. I picture hitting from the back like the snare from the track. I got the knack to be the Mac, the lips I wanna smack. Candle wax down the spine, all of the time. Prophylactic on my tool, let me take you to school. Lesson 1, you don't have to run. And lesson 2, listen to my crew. Passion increases with exchange of saliva. Keep it Fahrenheit and call me Muff Dava. That be me, the K to the ING. My mode is excellent and my dream is Eloise.
A soft whisper. She asked me, do I have the guts to kiss her? But as I sit and wonder, is she real? I picture. So what comes after? Put on Anita's rapture. Her feelings I must capture. Her soft lips, I take them quick and put them in my pocket. Cause they're out of this world like Space Lee and his sprockets. Somebody pitch me quick, I think I'm dreaming. Damn, she got me fiending. Her skin is so soft, it reminds me of the smoothest piece of silk. She's so sweet, her breath smells like carnation milk.
So sweet. Carnation milk. Of all things, I'm your lady. Sweet baby. Hey, what up, boo? Words out, I'm the diva that you speak about. I hear you smitten about my well-written repertoire. You's a superstar, but it's you that I shine for. We go together like jeans, t-shirts, and sneakers. Player haters try to come between us, but never that. E is simply all of that. Rewind that. E is simply all of that. Hoes be jealous, so they fellas wanna frolic. Gems I spit can't be bought, sold or boarded. You look retarded, trying to go against the gift. Love is shared, the love is multiplied. Put your freaks aside, forget about your weak pride. Run away with me and let's do it on the wild side. Like that.
Eloise on my mind. Eloise on my mind. Eloise, you're on my mind, girl. Eloise on my mind. Eloise on my mind. Eloise. Eloise.
Eloisa, I wanna know, am I the bro, to get to know ya?
Eloise on my mind. Eloise on my mind. Eloise.
Eloise on my mind.
Eloise.
Eloise, I wanna know, am I the bro, to get to know ya?
Eloise.
Eloise on my mind. Eloise. Simply E with the MSB, the magical soul.
Eloise on my mind. Eloise on my mind. Eloise. Man, I swear that never gets old. And I've gotten some requests for new songs, but Eloise just kind of sticks. I don't know if it goes with the video or what the deal is, but Eloise is that's just the theme song, at least for the unforeseeable future. What's up, everybody? PV versus everybody. We're here for another episode of Productive People. I'm your host, Sed Brass, and we here. We here and we in the building, live in the flesh. Sorry, we're late. Technical difficulties. I have to come with a whole nother computer. Download, switch everything. Man, y'all just don't know what goes on in the background. But we're here. We're here and we excited. Man, it's fall camp week. We're back to camp, and what it is on site. What it is on site. What it is on site. If you're a PV fan, you know that's one of the chants of the football team. We're excited, and I had to go with a chant within the football team because I'm excited that camp is finally here. We're finally at the place where we are inching closer and closer into the season, and I'm excited. All of the chatter can now resume in a more confident way. Let me say that. The chatter has always been here, and the chatter is going to keep going. As season begins, as season ends, and Celebration Bowl, people going to have a lot to say, and they going to stand on their business, hopefully. But I have an inclination that PV is going to be on the other side of that. What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? I'm excited. All the people in here, PV 12, the loyalists, PV alumni, Houston chapter, Dallas chapter, Atlanta chapter. We got a lot going on. And because we late, I'm going to cut a lot of the notes short and just get right to some of the top of the business. A lot of the news everybody pretty much knows, but I just kind of want to get some refresh of probably some of the stuff that we might have missed. And then some things that are just worthy of highlighting. Y'all bear with me today because I'm at a whole new computer, whole new camera, whole new system. Man, I'm excited. Let me put the link in the chat. This is going to be one of those collaborative shows too, by the way. We got a lot to talk about. We got some segments. I will give some insight. We do have an old segment that I have brought back. I know y'all thought it was gone, but I'll give y'all a hint. One of the old segments that used to be on all of the shows, we're back again. We're back again. I won't give it away too much. But let's start off first. Our first order of business. New assistant bowling coach. Welcome to the Hill, Coach McGee. Do I got an image on that? I got a link on that, I think. Yeah, that's how we're gonna do it. You know what? Let's start with let's start there. Yeah, let's start there. I got a camera, I got things all over the screen. Let's start there. Oh, let me remove that. Eloise on my mind. Eloise on my mind. Eloise. All right, let's get back to what we started. Let's get back to where we started. Welcome to the Hill, Coach, though. We got a new bowling coach. Let me do it like that. Yeah, that works better. Shout out to Coach. We got a new assistant coach, PVU Bowling. Welcome to the Hill, Coach McGee. Please join us in welcoming John McGee as the new assistant women's bowling coach at Prairie View A&M University. If you know anything about PV, our bowling team is next level. I know we fell a little short last year, but we got a new assistant coach in. We're going to change some things up. With more than 15 years of competitive bowling experience and 5 years of coaching, Coach McGee is ready to help lead the Lady Panthers to combine success. I'm excited. When we see coaching and young blood like this, I'm always excited. I'm gonna run through it. Coach Ty also put a news alert out that should be up on your screen They're looking for student managers for PV women's basketball. The requirements obviously is that you're a PVAMU basketball knowledge and you attend school. Set up and break down equipment for practicing games, assistant operations areas. Look, if you're trying to get some experience within athletics, more importantly, women's basketball, Coach Ty is looking for some people. She's interested in students. Check out Bria Patterson. Send her an email, blpatterson@pvamu.edu. They're also looking for practice squad needed. You must be a current student. Preferred basketball experience, must attend scheduled practices. Again, same email address. Look out for BL. Send an email to blpatterson@edu. Again, practice squad, and also what else they got? Interns working with the team. All right, managers working with the team. I got an email on that, and I thought I would at least pass that along. Let me get back over here. So shout out to Kota. We gonna get to some of these hot takes. What else do we have in the news? Look, while we're on women, or while we're on the sport of basketball, why not release the new schedule, right? There was a new schedule that was released for men's basketball. Let me see if I got a copy of that. I do. Shout out to men's basketball. This is the non-conference schedule, obviously. Season is kicking off with Paul Quinn. That should be a good game. I know I would like to attend that game. I don't know, who all will be in the PV area, but season opener will be against Paul Quinn on November 2nd. That'll be a good game. But as you can see, it's some good basketball there. UTRGV. We got a game against SMU in November. Vanderbilt. I love to see that game. Vanderbilt, Marshall, Ohio State, Iowa Buckeyes. We get some really good basketball. Pepperdine, San Diego, Texas College. Well, we play UT and Texas A&M in basketball. This is going to be some good competitive non-conference play. Now, I know we talk about this a lot in the football realm, but basketball, we don't talk about this enough. I'm sure there are certain schools out there that'll say, oh, this don't mean nothing. All that matters is money, games, and swag play, but we're not going to relive that. I just had to get that one off real quick because whenever I see competitive play, I get excited because I know that's going to step up the level of PV. I know that's going to raise the level of what we're out here doing. So shout out to PV basketball. I saw last week the video of them working out as a team. They look real solid. I like quietly what PV basketball is doing and what they're shifting. Shout out to Coach Byron Smith, but shout out to women's basketball too. Coach Ty, she's putting in the work. I look forward to seeing some good things from both sides of the basketball, women and men's basketball. Quick announcement. Hey, look, like, share, hit the alert, but more importantly, hit the like. That don't cost y'all nothing. Shout out to PV for everybody for letting me host Productive People, the Wednesday show here on PV versus everybody. Y'all hit the like button. Get the analytics up. I get it. Everybody don't want to share. Everybody don't want to be a follower and actually follow the page, although that would be lovely. But it don't cost you nothing to just hit the like button. Hit the like button if you here. Show Lionel some love for PV versus everybody. All right. What else we got? Now let's get to the crux, right? Well, I do got one announcement. I saw a couple more announcements, right? PV12, right? Shout out to PV12. They've always been, an underground riot when it comes to what everything moves amongst PV fandom. They're an unknown group, almost like QAnon, right? QAnon, and I forgot the other, Antifa. No one knows really who's the leader. No one knows who's in the actual group. No one knows how they actually move, but you might get a sneak peek of who PV12 is. They're doing a ride to Tarleton. PV12 is doing a ride to Tarleton. Get on the bus, as they say, right? Y'all can check out the Facebook page. There's a form. Y'all can reach out to me. Y'all can reach out to Lionel. Again, we keeping it discreet, but we got a bus going to Tarleton State. We like for you to ride with us on the bus. A lot of people are in the chat knows who PV12 are, and some of them actually are PV12. But if you want to ride the Tarleton bus, you don't have to be PV12. All you got to want to do is ride the bus to want to go see PV in Tarleton. So check out, there's a PV Facebook page, there's a PV, or just hit Lionel on the back. That's about the easiest way that I can tell you. Hit Lionel on the back. We're taking interested parties. The bus is filling up fast. It's $70 a ticket. Shout out to Isaiah for putting that out there. It's $70 a ticket. That's going both ways, not $7 one way. That'll take care of you to and from the game. And from what I see, the tickets to the game is only $20. So less than a bill will get you to the game, back, and your ticket to the game. Hit us up, hit Lionel up, hit me up in the back channel. PV, we riding. PV12 is riding, and we riding in style. Roll with us to the Tarleton State game. That's gonna be a good game. Yes, thank y'all. Gold shirt. Wear your gold shirt. We're gonna gold out that game because we don't want no confusion with the purple. We know Tarleton State is purple and white. Purple and gold might get a little confusing, but gold lets you know PV is in the building. You know what I'm saying? So everybody, y'all, if y'all intending to hit the game up, whether if you riding the bus or not, or you're tailgating, or you're going out there with a group or not, wear y'all gold out to the game. We're gonna be in a private section at Tarleton State. It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be lit. It's a lot of excitement around PV football amongst PV fandom. It's a lot of excitement amongst our haters too, right? You know, they're watching, they're listening, they're taking notes. They're interviewing our coach. You know, everybody's always saying, oh, PV, y'all always centering yourselves. Y'all think y'all special because y'all just won one. We obviously are. Everybody in every platform wants to talk to our coach, but then at the same time say that we're irrelevant. It don't make sense. It don't make sense. We know that we're the standard. I get it. You don't want to admit it, but that's really the case right now. You know, we got opposing coaches out there. Well, I'm not gonna get on social media. I wish I had that video up. I'm not gonna get on social media. I'ma just let it be quiet. Shout out to PV versus everybody. The form is actually in the link. Fill out the form if you're interested in going to the Tarleton State game. Thanks for putting it in the link. Right. That's if you're unclear about what the link is, hit that link if you're interested in riding to the Tarleton State game. We got a form for you to fill out. Fill out the form. It's in the chat. But like I was saying, you know, you got coaches out there crying, I'm not gonna get on social media. We the standard, right? We the standard. Now, when I tell you to tuck your shirt in, what do? When I tell you to wear black socks, you wear black socks. Yo, it's going to be a long season if you got coaches out there still talking about tucking your shirt in and wearing black socks and showing up to practice on time. Please tell me coaches got more than that. And I put that on Twitter the other day, right? I put that on Twitter. Please, it's going to be a long season if your coach, all he got to say when it comes to the standard is making sure you showing up on time, tucking in your shirt, and wearing black socks. We coming out there to play football, man. We coming out there to be violent. We coming out there to win. You know what I'm saying? I heard the coach saying the other day, look, I plan for the game to be over in the third quarter. He was talking about TSU, right? But that same spirit is going to pass amongst everybody, right? We're talking about domination here. And that was funny that, you know, Coach O told me about dominating. They're going to be dominating. Don't sound like it. Don't sound like it. The standard is showing up on time, tucking shirts, and wearing black socks. That's what y'all standard is. We got a bigger standard. We got excellence live here. We're producing productive people. And that actually takes me, I'm going to skip through because that's a great segue into what I wanted to talk about. We got brothers out here doing some really, really, really good things. And I'm gonna dip around my run of show, but I think this is just a perfect time to highlight that. And I'll get back to some of the messy drama that we might be, addressing sometimes. Let me have to just say, shout out to this brother right here. I'm gonna play it. Yeah, let me play it real quick. TV's on.
All my life you have been so good. With every breath that I am able, I will sing of the goodness of God.
Shout out to Corey White. Shout out to Corey White. DB, redshirt sophomore, out here doing community service on his own. By his dolo, on his own, doing community service with elderly. Singing and giving them enjoyment. When you hit that season part of your life and they enjoy things like this. Young folks coming out, singing, offering his skills to enlighten someone else. This is the type of student athletes we have at Prairie View, right? The standard is bigger than wearing black socks, tucking your shirt, and showing up on time. What kind of person are you? Let me hold on. What kind of person are you? What kind of impact are you making in the lives of others? That's the standard we living by. That's the standard we living by, right? I had another brother I want to highlight too. William Taylor. I thought this was another outstanding young student athlete. Let's see if I pull him back up. Pull him up as well. There it is. That is William Taylor. Hold on, let me get the audio on this.
I just want to hear work. I just want to hear grass. That's all I want to hear. Grass. That's work to me. Get all that extra. Blase. Get outside. That's all we want to do.
Heavenly Father, I come to you with gratitude, with joy. Our faith comes from your sacrifice, Lord, our Savior, Jesus Christ, the Word, the truth. I declare revelation, renewed sight, alignment with you. Your word says we are the light of the world, so may our spirit shine through us eternally, Lord. Victory is declared. Your kingdom reigns. Holy is your name, Lord. You are my shepherd. I shall not want. So I declare continued provision in my preparation, exceedingly and abundantly. I stand tall, valley or mountain. I commit my work to you, Lord. So I declare an established plan through you, our cornerstone, our anchor. May your will be done. I thank you in advance. In Jesus' mighty name.
Shout out to that brother. Shout out to PV football. Shout out to excellence. Shout out to young men with character on the team. That's fire. I don't know if y'all heard the audio or not, but hopefully you did. That was another outstanding. Corey White was the brother singing and doing community service, but shout out to Will Taylor. He's a senior, 6'1", 190 receiver. As you saw him catching balls and working hard. No, I appreciate it. Thank you. Working hard. This is the type of character that these young men inspire me. That we are passing on the legacy of what excellent looks like when it comes to PV alumnus. Now you're not late. You're not late. We right on time. You right on time. We just kind of giving some accolades right now because oftentimes it comes off a little contentious, and we're gonna get the business clear because there's a lot of business to get clear. I know y'all don't think it is, but we gonna get to it. I wanted to just give some highlights to players right now, right? And highlights to PV students because I think that's important. That's what this is all about. That's what this is all for. And while I'm on it, you know what? I got another one too, right? Hold on, I think I got the image. I got the image of that one. Shout out to this sister right here. Dianca Bookman. Dianca Bookman got a silver in the USTF Outdoor Track and Field Championship. Now, shout out to the sister that was at Southern University. A lot of people were hyping her up, and she was getting a lot of visibility. But she kind of fell under the radar. Yeah, amongst internal PV people, this was passing around. But when we're talking about regional and local recognition, this sister deserves a lot of recognition for what she did, especially as a PV alum, but just more importantly, as a Black woman. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Veronica Horn, former PVAMU track field, earning her first USA TF medal by finishing second in the 400-meter hurdles at the 2026 USA TF Outdoor Track and Field Championship with a personal best of 53.95. Shout out to Veronica Horn. People was hitting me up in the back horn. I often get a lot of articles, but women track members were actually hitting me up and saying, hey, I watch a show. That's so amazing that students are watching the show. Hey, I watch a show. Can you give some highlight and recognition to the sister? I said, absolutely. Send me information on her. Send me the link. Send me the image. I think that's important that we highlight these young athletes as they move on and they have success outside of PV. I know we often talk about we did this and we did that, but these kids or young adults are continuing to be great even out after PV. That's why I always show some of the former NFL players that are in London and some of the NFL players that are in the actual XFL. I try to show and highlight that we're still out here doing successful things. So shout out to Dianca. One thing that I did find out about her is that when she was at PV, and she will be a Hall of Famer for PV in the 400-meter hurdles. Her only loss at PV at her time, full time at PV, was her senior year. And from what I understand, she tripped and fell. And that was literally her only loss in her career at PV. So we got to do a better job within media. We got to do a better job of recognizing our own, because we know, much like Coach Jack have been saying, we're not going to get as much light from outside as we kind of shine a light on ourselves. And that's been the impetus of this show. Not only to just address misinformation and address haters, but to also shine a light and highlight and create our own narrative and let people really know what we're doing and the successes that we're having. So once again, shout out to Veronica Bookman. Hopefully we're going to see bigger and better and brighter things from this sister in store. What else we got? What else we got? It's football, man. What I'm talking about. Since we're talking about recognition, like I said, I'm gonna dib and dabble around a little bit. This was concerning to me. This was concerning. Where is that image at? You know what? I'm gonna take a different angle. Shout out to Calvin McMillan. That's more important. Let's get that part out the way first. Calvin McMillan, named to the 2026 Perform HBCU National Player of the Year on the watch list. The first team All-SWAC offensive lineman returns as one of the nation's top HBCU players. Shout out to Calvin McMillan, right? Let's give, since we're giving kudos and accolades, we want to shine a light on our own first, right? We know there's other discussions within this topic, but I want to give this brother also his true shine and recognition, because look, as an old lineman, they're almost unseen anyway. So the fact that he's getting recognized on the preseason watch list, that tells you how great this player is. So shout out. And I'm going to be honest with you. Our entire O-line, but that might be being biased, but our entire O-line was doing that work. And not only that, our entire O-line is returning. If you've been watching Coach and listening to Coach, this was so crazy about our O-line. They might not all even be starting. Our entire starting O-line is returning. And we have so many good recruits that's coming in that, from what I'm hearing, the O-line might not even be the full starting O-line from last season, even though the full O-line is returning. So y'all don't want to hear us because y'all gonna say we fans and we just talking. But I'm telling you, PV is gonna be a problem this coming up season on all levels. Coach, the staff, the team is dialed in. This is gonna be a crazy, nasty season. I'm here to tell you that. Now speaking of the list, do I have a link for that? The preseason watch list? Yeah, I do. Let me pull that up. Let me pull that up. I think I still got it. I didn't say that image, but we gonna put that up for you. We're gonna put that up for you. There you go. Preseason watch list. I know it's small, so you might not clearly see it. But you got 11 SWAC student athletes who were named to the Stats Performs HBCU Player of the Year. Only one PV player. That's right. Now, how in the world Alabama State got 3 players on the HBCU Player of the Year watch list? That befuddles me. Even Jay Stank only got 1 player. I don't, and this is going to be a recurring theme, and it really was something I was going to make for today's shows. How Alabama State is able to maneuver with the hype machine amongst the SWAC, it befuddles me. The hype machine that the conference, and be honest with you, not just really from a conference level, but fan level. From fan level. The way that people gas up Alabama State every year is wild to me. It's wild. And everybody looks the other way. Has it been 10 years since Alabama State has been into the SWAC championship? And people every year, one after another, rank and vote them the number 1 team. Every year, like clockwork, they'll be the best coming out of the East. Every year, like clockwork, it's an over-evaluation. And look, I ain't even bring that article up, even about them over-evaluating and inflating stats, right? Now, if that would have been, and I'm gonna be honest with you, if that had been J-State, Grambling, Southern, Prairie View, that news about them changing player stats and getting a warning by the NCAA, that would have been major news and all over the internet. It was Alabama State, nobody said nothing. It just kind of flew by the radar. Now, of course, it's not affecting their post-play, but they're on probation for 3 years and they have to pay some fines for manipulating stats to influence a player transferring, right? What's going on, right? I don't know how Alabama State is continuously able to fly under the radar. And nobody says nothing. But shout out to these 11 players being recognized. That isn't to shame any of the players. I think all players need and deserve their recognition for whatever accolades. But I'm talking to the grown folks. Whatever this, infantilization that they have with Alabama State, I don't know. Maybe because, SWAC office is centered in Birmingham and Alabama is the home. Maybe that is the case. I don't know. But what I do know is Alabama State always, and that's a question I like to know, is the conference going to be doing anything? Is the conference going to be inflicting any penalties, or they're just allowing the NCAA to inflict the penalty and nothing is kind of going to happen from the conference? Has the conference even released any statement on this? I like to know. Nobody's talking about this. But again, shout out to the 11 players that are recognized. Me personally, get that list back up there. Me personally, Eric Zachary should have been on this list. How can you be a top 3 in the FCS as a defensive back, but you're not on the HBCU Player of the Year list? Houseway. It's not even that many, and I love to do the research on that. How many current SWAC players are on the FCS all-time list? How is Eric Zachary the number 3 in FCS and he's not even on this list? All right. It make no sense. And I know people gonna say, "Oh, y'all are PV fans, and y'all are never gonna unless the list had all 11 PV people." No, I'm being that I be hard pressed. And again, I don't want to compare players or begrudge any of the DBs on this list, but you're gonna have a hard time trying to convince me how any of the DBs on here is ranked higher than Eric Zachary, stat for stat, player for player, accolades for accolades. Help me understand that one, right? I would even make an argument for Chase Bingham. What? Rookie of the year. What are we talking about? All conference. Why isn't Chase Bingham on this list as a running back? Right? And y'all light up the chat. Let me know what y'all think. I'm gonna put the link in there too for y'all. Am I bugging? Am I tripping? You know, hit me up. Let me know what y'all think. I'm gonna put it in there. So I put the link in there. Everybody want to call in? Let me know. Maybe I'm bugging. I don't think I am. Like, come on. You know what? I did pull up a Chase Bingham. Shout out to Chase Bingham. Somebody did a video with, what was it, Baylor's quarterback doing some workouts. I wasn't able to rip the video, but he ain't looked that impressive to me. Him running the ball and being shifty with the ball, it didn't really look that impressive to me. And anybody that knows me, I'm not a big workout video type guy because there's so much manipulation when it comes into that. There's so much script in that and performance in that. So I really don't look at that as an indicator. But I had a Chase Bingham video working out with Dewanye Tucker over the offseason. If you're a PV fan, you know who Dewanye Tucker is. Probably one of the top running backs in PV history. Shout out to Dewanye Tucker influencing this young man to come to actually Prairie View, and them continue to work in the offseason. And his running style is a lot like Dewanye Tucker's. But y'all will peep him in this video. But I want to show this. This is, your rookie, co-rookie. I'm gonna give some credit. Co-rookie 2025 Rookie of the Year SWAC conference. And this is what y'all got to look forward to in off season. Hold on, let me remove this. Let me remove this right here. Sorry. Let me put that up here. I'm gonna have to mute it because it got the Drake in the background. I'll just talk over it. Come on, man. Come on, man. And this ain't fast forwarded video either, by the way, like some of y'all be doing. Ill footwork. Yep. This just want to give y'all a little bit of something. Give y'all a little bit of something. What's coming y'all way this season? Giving y'all a little tad bit. Giving y'all a little bit tad bit. And get a little bit of recognition. Now that the family is here, we can start getting into these hot takes, right? We're gonna start getting into some of these hot takes. Let me pull this clip up, right? I'm gonna go back to Alabama State because I did have this in my notes. Let's start off with this one. Since I already started off with Alabama State. Let me put that in this right place. And this is why you can't really blame, the fan base. That's why I don't really blame the fan base. I blame the media. Right? This is Kyle T. Mosley. This is, someone that's in the media streets, HBCU legends. It is finally the time for Coach Eddie Robinson Jr., Andrew Body, and Alabama State to punch their ticket to the 2026 Cricket Celebration Bowl and play for the national championship with a graphic and everything. What is Kyle T. Mosley talking about? Alabama State can't even get out the East, let alone win a SWAC championship to go to the Celebration Bowl. But we got Kyle T. Mosley out here talking about it's finally the time for Coach Eddie Robinson and Andrew Body in Alabama State to punch their ticket. What? And I hate to say this, right? I don't know if y'all can see this, but it's a Jay Stank fan right here, and she's absolutely right. This is interesting. This is an interesting post to make, considering that they haven't been to a SWAC championship since 2010. And that the last time they won is 2020 or 2004. They got to win the East first. Let's not forget the SWAC runs through. Now, she had a typo here. Of course, of course, Jay Stank people can't type. She forgot to put a T right here. The SWAC runs through T-Jack. So she was like 99% right, and then she fumbled right at the 1 yard line. The SWAC runs through T-Jack. That's what she missed the T right there. But everything else is spot on. Everything else is spot on. I don't, again, because all of the perennial favorites are inner fighting so much, obviously PV and JSU, Southern with Marshall Falk, and then what is Grambling doing with Mickey. So, they kind of, Alabama State kind of quietly kind of shrinks and kind of goes off to the side. But I see you, Alabama State. I see you. I see you with dabbling in the numbers and statistics. I see you, Alabama State. I see you with overinflation and representation when it comes to the highlighted players to watch for next season. I see you. 3 players on the list. I see you, Kyle T. Mosley, hyping up the amp machine when it comes to Alabama State. I see you, Andrew Body. I see you. It's the hype. It's the hype machine, but no results. It's the hype machine, but no results. So I'm on you. I'm on Alabama State because I'm not letting them fall through the cracks, and I'm not going to allow them to continuously be mediocre and nobody say nothing. Listen, people are mad at me. Look, Andrew Body has never beaten Prairie View. That's just a fact. Now, whether if they like it or not, or like hearing that or not, again, that's not a problem for me. But these are like small little details that we got to address and we got to talk about. So I think people need to give more attention to what's going on over there with Alabama State. I'm not liking what I see, but more importantly, I'm not liking the hype by the media. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's going to help me sleep cleaning up these SWAC streets. Cleaning up these SWAC streets. Now, it's always the outsiders. The outsiders seem to have more understanding of what's really happening than people that are historic HBCU people. It's always the outside people that seem to know a little bit more than the people that's within the SWAC. That's so-called following the SWAC and that's so-called HBCU guys. But when you got outside people like Lucas Hill here said, early statement game is Panthers beating Tarleton. Should have won a Celebration Bowl last year, but they should respond in a big way in week 1. Give me PVAMU for the upset. Offense is going to be loaded. Might be too much for Tarleton State to overcome. See, if that was a PV person, y'all would be like a delusional. This is what outside analysts are saying, right? People that are following statistics, people that are following trends, but more importantly, people that are following their emotions. See, it's not clicks, it's not favoritism, it's not like these false hype machines. It's people just analyzing, doing their job, analyzing teams, analyzing players and recruits, and making, an informed position based on facts, not on emotions. That's what this is. That's why I highlighted this brother here, right? Well, he's not a brother, but fellow media brother. Man. This is why we have to dispel the rumors. But you know what? It's time. We gonna dust off a segment that we haven't done in a while. Let me see if I can find it. Okay. Let me find it. This person, and you know, I'm always highlighting people, but you know, I had to dust off the old graphics for this one. The audacity to use a Houston reference and be a J Stank person by calling themselves Pimp C. This is your brass monkey of the day. Brass. This is your brass monkey of the day. That's right. We dusted it off. I am Pimp C nephew. Handle at Captain Kirk 2 times. I guess the brother lost his Twitter account. Lost his Twitter account. Now you ask why is he the brass monkey of the day? Let's get to the business. Let's get to the business. This is like crazy nasty work. This is the level of delusion sometimes. It's gotta be studied with these J Stank folks. Right? Let me pull this up. Right here. Now, this brother had the audacity to say, the reason I don't think about PV as a powerhouse is because the fans don't support him. It was more Alcorn fans at the championship game than PV fans. Yeah, yo, man. I think my computer's about to explode when I saw this. It was more Alcorn fans at the championship game than PV fans. Everybody was praying for our downfall. I said my normal congrats like I always do. I don't know what your congrats have to do with anything, but this statement right here, it was more Alcorn fans at the championship game than PV fans. That deserves a brass monkey all by itself. All by itself. You know what? I didn't even think about to put my own personal video I shot up there. But I did have a video. You tell me if this is Alcorn fans. Let me know if that's Alcorn fans. Make my funk PV funk. I won't stay get funked up. I won't stay get funked up. Man, you can't make this up, man. You can't even you don't even have to run whole segments on this type of stuff. This is the type of lunacy that you get from J Stank people. And they wonder why we keep calling them delusional. Shout out to this brother. Brass monkey. I cut it off because I don't want to get clipped. That funky monkey. I can sing it though. Y'all, hey, look, where's Mr. Campbell at? I tried to tell him Brass Monkey was that drink back in the day. Brass Monkey was that drink. And I think a lot of J Stank fans have been drinking the Brass Monkey. They've been drinking the Brass Monkey. They gotta be saying stuff like it was more Alcorn fans than PV fans. No, I know. I know. Let me, and I'm not even done when we start talking about delusion. Let me see if let's come on, man. It's a new season. It's a new PV. And again, people gonna have to get in line. We talked about it last week, but shout out to one of my PV12 brothers who did this video. This is what's going down. This was going down. We're gonna help y'all understand what's going down.
Hey, stop! Get your little punk ass out the car, Craig. This is the rematch.
Yeah, boy, the rematch. Think I'm gonna let you beat up with my big brother like that and get away with it?
Got the car.
Punch you. I got your butt now. Uh-huh. T-Bone!
Fake ass Suge Knight. Yeah, I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna put my foot up in your ass. Make get him.
Damn. And I ain't kicking it with you no more. I'm going to mommy house, man.
That's it. That's what we talking about. We coming in running over folks. We coming in changing up the game when it comes to PV. You know what? Let me find mine. Right? Let me find mine. Oh, that's right. It's got the music on there. I might mute it for y'all. That's how annoying this is. I'm not mad, but that's how annoying this type of stuff is. Let me see if I could get mine up. This is straight impromptu. I should have downloaded the video. Let me see if I got mine up there. I know I got it in here somewhere. Is that it? Let's see. Again, if I can't find it, it's no big deal. But let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can. Oh, there we go. Let's see. Let me put that on mute. This now you tell me if this is all corn people. You tell me, right? You tell me. This is directly from my page. Y'all can go watch this at any time y'all want to. I'm gonna take the music off because Tribe Called Quest is in this one. You count how many PV people are in this video, and it's the tailgate. This just the people at the tailgate. This don't have nothing to do with people who went in the game on their own. This is just the tailgate area. Wait till we get to the tent. And shout out to everybody who participated in this with me, by the way. This was all impromptu. I just started fist bumping. That's the PV tent right there. People are merched out in purple and gold. You can't really catch the vibe because the music is playing in the background, but it's to the music. PV was definitely in the building. I hadn't even got to the game yet. PV12 in the building. Like brothers talking about it wasn't nothing but all corn people there. What did he talking about? Shout out to Roosevelt. Shout out to King MC. I saw him in the audience. Shout out PV. Shout out Phyllis, Houston alumni. Shout out Luxury Goods. Look, we even got the president in on the act. Come on, man. Look, look how many PV people was in the, like, come on, yo. I'm like, what is this brother talking about? We invaded Jackson State. We invaded Veterans Memorial. I could go on and on with this. This is not even half the video. That's how long the video is. I'm not going to even play the whole video. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry, I was reading the chat. Right? Look, I don't know what people are saying. You don't have to make up lies to kick it though, right? It gets a little ridiculous when people just start making up lies. But speaking of lies and speaking of misinformation, let's get a little bit more comfortable here because we gotta address some things. Now this was just kind of comical. This wasn't even
and they remain a sleeping giant because they had all them.
This wasn't even worth getting upset about. That wasn't even worth getting upset. But now we got to sit up for this one, right? And I wish, me and Lionel talked, and I said we should have probably had this brother on the show And I think he's a fair man in some aspects, but again, you know, when you sitting next to Wendy Williams, sometimes you just get caught up in the mess. That's just what happens, right? So let me play this. Let me get this up on the screen and play this for y'all. All right, let me get this on the screen. There we go. Let me clean it up. Because we don't really need to see the comments. Let me try to get it. There we go. Let me get it as best for y'all.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait. And by the way, I don't disrespect your coach. Now, let me just say this. I'm so happy he's in the SWAC. But one thing I don't like is when he besmirches and maligns the character of Black college historical football, because he's made some statements about Black college football in the old days being people sharing helmets, and Black college football in the old days about the teams having different jerseys. Let me say this. I've been watching Black college football since 1963. I haven't seen that kind of stuff going on. Now, I'm not saying it didn't happen, but when he does that, that does get on my nerves. Because I'm going to be honest with you, it lets me know he doesn't know anything about our history. And I would say to him, before he besmirches and maligns the character of Black college football history, he needs to go up to the NFL Hall of Fame and look at all of them Black college players that are in the NFL Hall of Fame that's from HBCUs.
I'm going to pause it right there. If you don't know the voice, that's Mr. Ford. You see my icon right there, and had a chance to actually speak with him. Again, I'm on a show, you know, I didn't know Mr. Ford was going to come on. He came on and he wanted to get off his chest what his issues were when it comes to Coach T-Jack. You heard it right there from him. He besmirches and maligns, you know, the historical, you know, relevance of what the SWAC was. This is all cap. This is all cap. When we talk about raising the excellence levels and how we see the SWAC, we might hurt some feelings and we might have to address some things, and people got to get out their feelings. I'm sorry, a lot of these old heads are in the way. If we're addressing issues that are current day, and let's be real, we had some current day issues with actual teams, Bethune-Cookman actually changing and sharing helmets. What that has to do with the historical relevance of who and what the HBCU greats were of the SWAC, I don't understand how he's drawing that conclusion. More importantly, why is he putting that on Coach T-Jack? What does that got to do when his statements are really talking about addressing the issues and moving the conference forward? And when you see most of the things that he's talking about, yes, they're about particular issues pursuant to Prairie View, but they're about the embetterment of the culture, coaches, HBCUs, the SWAC. Like, what are we talking about? So I don't understand. I'm gonna play a little bit more of this, but I don't understand that, and you'll hear
me. But as far as my respect for him, I am so happy he's in the SWAC, and I think he's an outstanding and an awesome coach.
Yeah, I talked about this last week on the show. I just think we might have just taken him out of context. I think he has fully understanding of the history of the SWAC. I think we had some issues last year with Bethune-Cookman, and we actually had in current day and even last season teams sharing helmets. I think the reporter asked them some specific questions about the SWAC moving forward and us kind of elevating, especially when we talk about strength of schedule. Everybody seems to be ducking, having a strength of schedule. So shout out to the conference actually revising the actual recommendations on how we actually see games being played. So I do understand your point. I think if we had a conversation when he would actually speak to that, I just think that sometimes when you catch him on a clip and a sound bite, sometimes we take what you get from the sound bite and kind of lose the context of the question when reporters are asking them questions. But we talked about, and I'm gonna end it there, right? You get the gist and you get the point, and I think that's the biggest problem when you're talking to, more importantly, Black folks. Context matters. What was the question? What was the dialogue? What was the conversation about? That's what kills me about Wendy Williams, right? She refuses to look at context. All Will D. Williams want to do is say, hey, Coach Jack just said that he ain't going to play with high school players. He not going to win with high school players. The clip begins and ends there, right? And then you get to shape a narrative off of a, 10-second soundbite without nothing before it, nothing after it, and no context to the conversation. That's annoying, especially when you're talking about people that want to be deemed credible in media. You want to be deemed credible, but you want to be lackluster in the way in which you handle conversations and statements that people make. This is wild to me. And this is why we got to clean up the SWAT. Coach is talking about doing it at an administration level, but we got to do it at a media level. I'm sorry. I'm not in no position to invalidate anyone. All I want to do is raise the bar. Can we raise the bar, or do we have to continue being Ricky Lake? Can we raise the bar, or do we have to keep being Maury? Can we raise the bar, or do we have to keep being Geraldo? Because people be treating the SWAC like it's one of these, daytime talk shows. And we got to do the T. Come on, man. We got to get better, and we got to do better. Mr. Ford, I'm sorry. That was a crazy, crazy take. Now, I just gave that for context, right? The conversation continues, into what we talked about on last week's show, but people still talking about it, so we got to talk about it. That's just how it is. You're going to talk about Coach, we going to keep talking about it, right?
Up.
Let me find this, right? Let me find this next one. Right? Is that right? I might have got the wrong timestamp. Oh, let's see. Sorry. Let's see. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Now, again, this is addressing Coach, making his claim when we were talking about last week about the high school association about getting snubbed. Let me make myself small on this. All right. Let's do the same thing. Let's make it big for y'all. All right, here we go.
Coaches. That's pure and simple. That's what it's about.
Okay, so now that he's doing that, Mr. Ford, I have to ask you this question. Is that the best way to get into that door, especially in this climate? Is the best way to get into that door by calling them out on social media?
I don't know if it's the best way.
That's how you get blackballed, especially in this climate.
He's, like I told you, he's trying to get access.
Here's a simple Christian-centered online business that you haven't heard of before, and it's built to bless your community. I'm Douglas James, and this isn't...
That was brutal.
Because he's trying
to
get access.
Let's run that back. Let's run that back.
Now that he's doing that, Mr. Ford,
sorry,
I have to ask you this question. Is that the best way to get into that door, especially in this climate? Is the best way to get into that door by calling them out on social media?
I don't know if it's the best way.
That's how you get blackballed, especially in this climate.
He's, like I told you, he's trying to get access to a room because he's trying to move up. It's just like you got this house over here, and then you got the master's house. He wants to get in the master's house.
Hold on, stop right there. This is that old head, and I want to be careful in my language because I respect Mr. Ford because he's one of the elders, right? But this is that old antiquated talk that we get from old heads, from that baby boomer generation, right? They see excellence as somehow, appealing to the system at hand. I'm being careful with my words, right? This is what's infuriating me. I can be excellence, but somehow I'm mistaken for wanting to be performative because I want to be in other spaces. How about being great is just being great? When do we start making statements like this? Well, you just want to, and then to use slave references, right? You want to actually get you a better buttermilk biscuit. I'm here advocating for my staff and for black people to be seen. And then we got older black folks saying, you just want to be liked by massa. You want to get you an extra buttermilk biscuit. And I don't like it. Man, some of that self-hate that we have, that has to be studied. And again, it's not our fault because we didn't get proper redress. Yes, we didn't get our 40 acres and mule, but we also didn't get the medical attention that we should have got from generational trauma. Because some of us see excellence as somehow performing for the system and for the master big house. How did you get that out of that? Like this is annoying to me on all levels, especially hearing from an older man say stuff like this. I'm gonna run it back because a lot of people miss stuff like this because it's like that. What's the word I said that was palatable? I said I was gonna say that was palatable. Benedict Arnold. Yeah. Benedict Arnold's. We always got a Benedict Arnold in the crew. And play it back.
I don't know if it's the best way.
That's how you get blackballed, especially in this climate.
He's, like I told you, he's trying to get access to a room because he's trying to move up. It's just like you got this house over here and then you got the master's house. He wants to get in the master's house. That's what he wants. He want to get in the master's house. I'm telling you, he's auditioning.
So the only thing that I will say is
he want to get in the master's house. You audition to be, what black person don't want to excel and be the best at what they want to do, right? And this is so crazy to me that black folks have this type of mindset. What they're really saying is, I want him to leave. I wish he leaves, right? Because your success is triggering my insecurities. That's my classic line. And so when people can't actually beat you and people can't begrudge you, what they do is malign you as some type of sellout. And that's what's annoying about black folks to me. I'm up here advocating for black coaches and for, my staff. And I'm advocating for exceptionalism when it comes to HBCUs. And then we got some OG or some old head out here talking about you're trying to be a sellout. Because that's essentially what he's saying. He's calling coach a sellout. You auditioning for them people because you want to be with them people. That is nasty work, man. Let me finish playing this clip so I can move on.
That and maybe there was another video or there's some extension to what was said, but when he talks about our brand of football and you're not respecting, I'm wondering, is he meaning PV as in PV brand, because PV has not been a winning has not been winning for quite some time.
I'm struggling listening to Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams can't even.
Or maybe he's not auditioning because I don't know.
No, he auditioning. Believe me.
I don't feel
he's
like
auditioning. But what he's wasting time with is that he's trying to change the hearts and minds of them people in that FBS room to give him a chance.
He can change it by beating Tarleton, right?
But that's why he put him on the schedule. That's why he's playing Prairie View. I mean, not Prairie View. That's why he's playing Texas Southern at 11 a.m. on a Sunday morning. He's auditioning. He's trying to move on.
Hold on. Playing the Labor Day Classic is now somehow selling out and performing for them people. This is what be killing me with folks. Not understanding the business, not understanding that eyeballs and visibility and being on a unique time slot puts Prairie View in the advantage. You wondering why we getting so many recruits and why we're getting so much respect. It has a lot to do with visibility. We're trying to elevate the school, the program, and y'all worried about tap dancing and getting an extra buttermilk biscuit for Mr. Charlie. This is why I'm like, our ideology is totally different. Totally different how we see exceptionalism and greatness amongst black folks. This is actually pretty sad. It's pretty sad to say that we still thinking like this as black folks. Good gravy, right? I'm gonna put the I got the link. I'm put it in there for y'all. I get it. Y'all might be a little shy today. It's cool. I'll be the bad guy. I put the hold on. Let me clear that up. I put the link in the chat for y'all. You want to hop on? Cool. Let me know your thoughts. Y'all don't have to. No pressure. No pressure. No pressure. But let's move on, right? Let's move on. Same thing, right? Since we getting the business clear, right? Y'all remember what today's show was? Right? It's on site. That's what it is. That's what today's show is. Right? It's on site. Oh, y'all didn't think we had nothing to get clear today. I know. Y'all didn't know that. I knew. Let me get in here. We got another one. All right. And I swear it's not me. I swear it's not me picking on Jay State, folks. I swear it's not. But for some reason, I know somebody just popped in. I'm getting the link ready. I know somebody just popped in.
I know somebody just popped in.
What up, Bell? King, what's cracking?
Bro. That's hard to listen to, bro.
What's your thoughts? Am I far off on this, or like what's your thoughts when you hear elder, statesmen within SWAC? This is people that have been watching SWAC since the 60s.
Right.
Talking like this.
I just put in the chat, man. I'm allergic to average.
What's up?
It's hard. What's going on? It's hard to try to understand those mindsets, man. And when a person makes an excuse for wanting things to stay the same, it's kind of interesting. That means, he's kind of laid into where just being okay. I said we at PB, man, we're allergic to average, man. Average comments make us itch. You know what I'm saying? When you hear people being okay with being okay, you need to get away from those type of people. And only because coach is not only trying, he's looking at it like he's trying to elevate himself, but he's trying to elevate the SWAC. He's trying to elevate the level of play. He's trying to make sure he plays some of at the end of the day, iron sharpens iron. So you want to play better competition, in your out of conference games in order to be able to kind of have your team to be able to measure not only the other team, but measure themselves. And then at the end of the day, when you go into your conference play, you tackle it a certain way. But he's looking at it like coach has a lot of say so. Even on the 11 o'clock game, that was a move by the athletic department. Period, because the opportunity came up to be able to be a nationally televised game at 11 a.m. on a Sunday, and NFL football doesn't start to the following week. So this guy, and no offense to him, and not to disrespect anybody that's considered an elder, but sometimes that old thinking is why, people have, stifled, at some place in their lives. But man, at the end of the day, we try to make sure we push the envelope, and there is, no ceiling. You got to make sure you take things further, because the person after you wants to take it from there and higher up, further than that. Should anyway.
Nah. What you got, Brandon?
Man,
I
everything,
appreciate you too, King, man. Thanks for
Yeah,
tuning
man,
yeah,
in, man.
everything he just said was spot on. This is
yeah.
the problem because I wasn't going to say anything. Let's not get it twisted. Forgive me. Hold on, in here finishing up cooking. But let me say this, man. It amazes me because I wasn't going to say anything. It amazes me the take on this because not too long ago there was somebody named Deion Sanders
Mhm.
who ended up in Jackson State, had this whole press conference, Cadillac, you know, in the arena, the whole pageantry.
Yeah.
And this same individual they called Prime, he was saying, I believe, I believe. And that was the rally cry. They made t-shirts, they did all this stuff.
Mhm.
He was saying, if I'm not mistaken, he was saying some of the same exact things. And there was the hallelujah section, it was the, say it doc section, it was the speak on preacher section. And then all of a sudden, when he decided that his time was up, which he was auditioning, he won't never say I Dion audition for this job. We knew the situation because nobody else would hire Dion. I'm not mad at Prime. I'm not mad at him whatsoever. I'm not bad mouthing, but there were several doors that would close in his face when he was trying to get in the coaching profession. Jackson State gave him an opportunity, but he was saying some of the same things, challenging their thoughts, challenging them about what? Just as something simple as what? Your name on the back of your jersey. Everybody was like, say it, doc, say it, doc. But then all of a sudden, when you have a coach who comes in, been on both sides of the tracks,
Mhm.
comes out and gives his perspective from his experience, now all of a sudden we have an issue with it. What I guarantee you, if TC Taylor was afforded the opportunity to go to the next level for an FBS program, you think he won't take that opportunity?
It
Come
ain't
on,
gonna,
man.
it ain't gonna
A
happen,
lot of the,
Brandon. It
a
ain't gonna
lot of
happen
the.
because you talking about tucking in shirts, showing up on
Let,
time, and
let,
wearing
let,
black
let,
socks.
let me tell you. That's I know you mess with him. I know all coaches say the same thing. It's basically he's saying it's the little things, right? But I get that. That's coach talk. I wouldn't be mad at TC. I'm not mad at T Jack if that opportunity presents itself.
Right.
Who am I to say, hey man, I don't want you to leave for me because I want us to keep winning? Yeah, that's a selfish part of us. But do you say that on your job? When you
Right.
go to work every single day, hey man, I'm just gonna stay here. I'm not gonna take advantage of the opportunity for me to make more money just so I can make the people happy down here.
Great point. Great
Man,
point.
this is about excellence. Like this is about productivity.
Yeah.
Like how can I would not want a coach around me who does not have vision. That's the reason why AD, that's the reason why our president, and that's the reason why T Jack and the rest of this staff, it's alignment. Now, all of a sudden, you start hearing some of these same things from these same SWAC coaches who were in the comments hating. Now they saying what? Well, we need some alignment. Where did this alignment come from? Because nobody said anything about alignment until he said something. So, like I said, man, to Mr. Ford, man, it's a shame that just say you mad that we beat you. I could deal with that. Like, just say you mad and upset that we beat you. Like,
Mhm.
that's what I'm saying. Just say that, but don't try to stoop that low to try to say the man auditioning. He, guess what, Mr. Ford? He was already on the other side of the tracks at Texas State.
Correct. And
So do
then
your
what is it? What is that?
Valdosta.
Valdosta? Yeah, I was going to say
Yes,
Valparaiso.
my thing is do your research before you get on here pandering. And that's the same
Mhm.
thing for Timona. Like, she has to dissect every single thing that he does or he says, but would never play the full clip. But then when we respond to her and respond to her with the correct information, now all of a sudden she want to block you or you get missing or that's what he said. Come on, man. Let's not do this. And to be honest, and I'm gonna get off of here. The very thing that they're afraid of is
Mhm.
that sleeping giant will not go back to sleep.
That's right. That's right. I mean, y'all, ultimately what it is. I mean, man, listen. Anytime you're great, y'all, even outside of sports, if you're great in whatever you do, said you doing what you do, Brandon, you do what you do. The biggest thing is when there are people that keep up with what you do or that are listening or all the echoes, you're reminding people of where they're not great. And when you remind people where they're not great, their insecurities start to highlight, and they try to find something to be able to downgrade what you're doing in
Yeah.
order to make them feel like they need to, do what they need to do to be able to catch up. At the end of the day, coach right now has taken a SWAC baton. In 1 year, he won the SWAC in 1 year. Now he's up for year two. We hashtag FTF finish the fight. So we are already setting the bar to a level of where we trying to make sure we do a thing where we dominate this season. We dominate this season. He has a lot more talent. You just got to put it all together. And we pray that it starts with Tarleton State. But the biggest thing about it, man, is we're not looking at any mediocrity. And we're not accepting mediocrity. That's
Nah,
why
that's
he
a
has the
fact.
dog mentality, dog. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
Carl, do you
Mhm.
remember? Do you remember? I was on that 2009 team. I was there. My freshman year
Mhm.
was 2006. We went
Okay.
7-3. No, we went 3-7. We went 7-3.
Yeah, I
We
was just
went
about to say
9-1.
one. Yep.
One, and then
Yep.
KJ got hurt. We
Yep.
went, and then we didn't we I forgot what it was. We finished that year. No, let me back up. We went 9-1 the year that we beat Southern in Houston
Mm-hmm.
in NRG. Didn't
Mm-hmm.
play that year because we lost to Grambling. Then
Mm-hmm.
we went the following year and
Mm-hmm.
won it.
One.
But do you remember the briefcase? I don't know if you remember the briefcase. Each year Frazier had one. He had the sledgehammer 1 year. He had the chain 1 year. He had the briefcase 1 year. Then we had the championship belt the year that we won. If you go
I
back
remember
and
I
look in them
remember the championship,
archives,
but I don't remember the briefcase.
okay, on the briefcase it said unfinished business.
Business. Right.
Yeah.
Right. So it's taking it back. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. I mean, I'd have to see it, and I might be at a
But
point where I'd be like, "Oh yeah, I do remember that."
But if
But
if there's some people that got some pictures around, I'm gonna see if some of my guys got the picture with the briefcase.
yeah,
But it just made me think about it. It was like that briefcase said unfinished business,
yeah,
and that following year we switched to the championship belt and won the thing.
that's right. That's right. Y'all
Man,
listen, man. Ain't we not accepted? Now listen, man. We're not accepting wolf cookies. We're not accepting any mediocrity. And at the end of the day, if he wants people to see out the lens that he was speaking from, dog, unfortunately, we can't understand that type of talk because we're allergic to average. The average makes me like itch. Like you can't hang out with us if you average. If you're not deciding to be able to walk in a path that hasn't been laid yet, then you're not a part of our ecosystem. So I appreciate you, Brass, for even getting to the point where we talk about it. But sometimes it's just hard for people who lay in mediocrity to even understand people who are great.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it.
Yeah. And King, before you break, tell we got the privilege to have you on the show, but tell us
Yeah,
about the coaches show. A lot of people don't know that you co-host the
yeah,
coaches show with the coach every week. A lot of people
yeah,
haven't seen it. You guys, you pre-record it and they don't do
yeah.
it live. But King, tell us a little bit about the coaches show. Is it coming back this
It
season? What do we
is.
got to look for? We happy to have you on here. We just fans, kicking the can around.
Oh
But
man,
you're
listen, let
actually
me tell you.
sitting down with coach every week, dissecting these games and breaking these games down. So tell us
So
what you got in store for this season coming up.
man, we're excited, man, and listen, I mean, it takes shows like yours, PV versus everybody, just anything that supports the Prairie View ecosystem to keep it alive anyway. And we want to make sure we grow it because one thing about Coach, he'll say, part of his brand, at whatever college he's at as a head coach, he's like one of the things that he feels like is a non-negotiable is you got to have a coaches show. So yeah, so we will be back. The Tremaine Jackson coaches show will be back. We start shooting August 20th. Location still, TBD. And also the platform we're using right now is YouTube, but we may have some things in the works. I don't want to speak too early, but we'll see. But the biggest thing is we pre-record our first show on August 20th, man, and it should come out sometime that weekend. I know, Coach Cruz is gonna, be kind of, over when that's gonna be posted each time, but it's gonna always be like a day or two later that's gonna be up. But we'll be talking about the upcoming game Once we've played it, we'll be talking, in the first few segments, about the previous week, and then in the last two segments, we'll be talking about what we got coming up and what's the approach and whether or not practice went good. What are some of your concerns with the team that we're facing, all those kind of things. But the cool thing about it, man, is his opportunity not be held inside of a gate or a fence to be able to talk, because it's his show, and be able to talk about what he sees without giving too much away to the opponent, right? But the biggest thing is he wants a shared element, because he feels like our fan base, our alumni, our supporters, to truly get to know who he is, to embody embracing the team that he'll have at the hand, is to also be at a point where they get behind the curtains and get to know him and his personality. Right at this point, he's been on so many different platforms. I think people kind of got to adjust. And Coach Jack, T Jack don't hold nothing back, right?
Right.
He's gonna tell it like it is. He's gonna he's gonna be still comparable to the institution, and not hurt the institutional brand. But at the end of the day, man, he a real dude, and he's a dog when it comes to football, man. He wants people that when they're not on the field that are good productive citizens, but he also wants to make sure he got them dogs. Once we put a strap up and we get on that gridiron, dog, man, we ain't friends no more for the next 4 quarters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we gonna try to put
Yeah.
that hat on everybody. That's his whole mode. And then once the whistle blow, we shake hands, whatever. We go to our corners. You know what I'm saying? We can talk about what we did well in, what we didn't do so well in, how we gonna get better that next week, and come out driving each week. So he say as long as we stay on an incline, it don't have to
Right.
be like that. It's like that because he said you got in our heads, we got a 14 game season. you,
No
you know what I'm
doubt.
saying?
No
I'm just
doubt.
letting you know. So we are not playing with an idea, to just say we got a 10 game season. We have to play with that mindset. And he said this year, and he'll probably talk about it, in one of our shows. He said we have to find a way to coach in a 14 game season way. You know what I'm saying? And so that includes being able to have depth, because you got to be able to last. You know what I'm saying? Because these games, right after the mid part of the season, people are starting to deal with fatigue. They're starting to
Right.
they have to do certain things with their bodies in order to get there. So the mindset is from that standpoint, man. So we just trying to get there, man. And he and I are gonna be talking football, man, and it's gonna be cool because we're gonna do a thing where we're still doing it in front of a live audience. We're gonna try to really add audience questions in there, from the previous week. So we'll have something that people can go to and probably end up doing like we may have like a Google form or something link, and they'll be able to
Right.
go on and then put their question in, and then we just pull something randomly that we do at the end of the show. That's something we may try to add in there randomly at the end of the show. And we say, okay, we got a PV fan question, you know what I'm saying, and we address a couple of those things so he can answer off the cuff, and he don't want to know ahead of time. That's how he is, which I love about him because it's organic, right? We
Mhm.
don't want it to be, even though it's pre-recorded, we don't want that part to be like he already had a question. No, we're gonna ask right out the gate. That way he can think about it and then answer it the way he needs to answer. Because he say, man, I'm of the people. I'm not, I'm the head coach of the PV football team, but I'm of the people. I'm y'all too. So I'm a
Mhm.
fan of the sport and I'm also a coach of the sport. So at the end of the day, I just want to let y'all know we need y'all just as much as we. He said this is a symbiotic relationship. So it's gonna be dope, man. I'm excited, man. I'm excited about the season. To me, it can't get here fast enough. I know I love the fact that you do this, Brass, because it helps off season, it helps, things before fall camp. I don't know if you really understand that, but because you're doing your show, but it helps keep the
The
vibration,
momentum going. Yeah.
yeah, the vibration of football. I mean, at the end of the day, we all still human beings, we all still productive citizens, but good fine competition is great. And yes, some people be talking outside their neck, they be over talking. I think you hold us down very, very well. Doing your productive people show, I think you do a phenomenal job. And
No, I
during
appreciate
those
that, man.
breaks, this is needed. So hopefully, you continue to hold the space down and you inspire others to be able to start a show that supports, the HBCU space and the ecosystem. Because at the end of the day, we don't know where to go, but this has helped us get through shit, man. I mean, after technically, well, we had the soccer thing happening, but technically after the NBA finals,
It was
it's a
dead.
long,
Yeah,
that's
it
a
was
long,
dead.
That's a long little space, man. You know,
No
and
doubt.
you've helped us week in and week out, man. I just want to congratulate you on that.
Nah, I
But yeah,
appreciate
we're
it,
gonna
brother.
yeah, and it's gonna be interesting to see you doing productive people, on the Wednesday. We're pre-recording on, I'll be listening on the show, and then we pre-record on Thursday. Maybe some things I'll take from that, from things we hear. Because
Correct.
because technically you have a good vibration to be able to keep up with what people are kind of talking about on social media. I love it. Or people might be sending you stuff. And then
Mm-hmm.
I hear from you, you bring me up to date because there's so much information out there. I try not to get too, information overload.
Carl, the funny thing is when I first started talking about this show, I was like, man, it's not enough information out there. I might have to
Boy,
do this once every 2 weeks, maybe once a month or something. Because
you
to
as
talk about
you
PV, it's not enough out there. And oh
bro.
my God, not only is it so much information out there and so much misinformation and so much chatter, but it's even stuff that I'm missing on a weekly basis because it's so much coming and going
Wow.
so fast that you gotta like keep up. I put the link up, by the way, for shout out to Tarleton State game. We do have a
Mm,
form that's up with a bus
mm.
that's going from Houston and back. $70, y'all. That ain't a lot. Y'all gonna spend more than that on gas, to be honest with you.
That's
So
good.
might as
Yeah, that's
well
right.
roll, sit back, get you some chips and get you a drink and listen to some music, and you know how we do it. We kick it on the bus anyway, and we can roll, gangster style
Yeah.
to the Tarleton State game. So y'all hit the forum. Let us know if
Let's
y'all
go.
interested in going, or hit Lionel or me or any prospective PV12 person in the background, and we'll get you set up.
That's
$70
dope.
for the bus, and $20 for the actual game ticket. But
That's
yeah, you
dope.
you got something else, Carl? Hold on, this is my
No,
favorite. I wanted to tell you, this is my favorite clip from y'all show, man. And you're in the back saying, "That's right." When you
oh yeah,
saying
yeah,
that's right,
yeah,
this is my
yeah.
favorite coach clip.
We're never going to shy away from being confrontational
That's right.
about what great college football looks like.
That's it right there. That came from the coach's show. I got that clip. A lot of people don't know this. I play that clip a lot on here,
That's right.
but I got that from the coach's show, man. And that's you in the background going, "That's right. That's right."
That's right. That's
Um,
right, man. Hey, man, the dude. And let me tell y'all something, man. From the day that I met Coach Jack, man, that's my boy. That man, from the day I met him, man, we've been 100, and I love it. Shout out to Coach Cruz for putting it all together, man. But man, like the real dude, we both real with each other. We don't, we had never had to shy away. I rock with him, and I love how he is with these kids. I'm gonna call them kids, but he is with these kids, man, and they love him. They, I think he has this thing. I'm gonna just make it up myself, but they know when it's kind of like being around your parents. You know when they serious, right? So they know when to kind of kick it with him, laugh with him here and there. But when it's TFB, time for business, and he in business mode, they don't bother that man, boy. They locked in, man. I mean, and they can tell his sincerity when he go into that switch, and then it's game day. That switch, man, like, bruh, they ready to play for him. They going to war for him, and that's what I love. And I think we got like 70, maybe 76, 70, 70, 76 new
New
players,
guys.
bro.
Uh-huh.
They done already bought. They bought in, man. And I can't wait, to I go down there tomorrow. Matter of fact, I'll be down there at 6:30 in the morning. But let me tell you. Listen, I it can't get hit fast enough, Brass, man. And I listen,
Man, I know.
I'm prunk, man. So let's keep going, man. I ain't gonna take over the show. I want to make sure you get yours done. I just love listening. Just know every now and then I pop in, man. I love, riding in the car, kind of
Nah,
listen.
I
And
appreciate it. I
yeah, now
appreciate it.
keep going, bro. Don't even look back, man. The matter of
Yeah,
fact, throw away your rear view mirror.
no, for
Just
sure.
know all of these competitors, these ninjas, I'm gonna call them ninjas, they are watching. And if they watching, you showing them what greatness looks like. So just know you ain't gotta look back to see. Just know that they are. Because at the end of the day, if your name is in their mouth, and you must be on their mind. So stay focused. Keep doing what you're doing, baby.
Nah, appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I got one more clip I'm gonna address. Hold
Okay.
on. All right, appreciate you. Thanks so much, Carl, man.
Okay. I
All right,
appreciate you, man. All
all
right.
right, peace.
Yeah.
Let me put this clip up for y'all. Let me put this clip up for y'all. Hold on. Because we were getting the business clear, but again, I love when interactive calls come in and we can have a impromptu conversation. But don't think this was all about Mr. Ford. This is just about getting the business clear on misinformation out there when it comes to PV. Let me play this one. Hold on.
Same on Prairie View. Didn't invite my coaches. That kind of ties in some of your through line that you just said on the last topic. What you got, Zoe?
I think two things can be true. I think he's telling the truth. I think he's spot on, but I also think that to have this feeling that because you did something in 1 year, then that automatically should translate to what you believe should have happened for your staff, and it don't work that way. I think to his point, to his credit, his coaches, because they won, they were worthy, but that doesn't guarantee, because like I told you, they want guarantees. Well, we won, we did this, so in my estimation, we should have been here this year for this. And what he's fighting against, and let's just call it what it is. I don't think it's necessarily him being at HBCU. I think he's fighting against the stigma of being at Prairie View, which he spoke to. He said, we're not the same Prairie View, but I mean, he has to come to the realization that he's fighting up against that. Like it is what it is. I can't speak that, right? I can speak for example, like Jackson State. TC's led the MHSAA Coaches Clinic before. Hell, Trey Johnson just led it for basketball for the state of Mississippi for basketball this year.
Now, why is he making the equivalency to Mississippi sports programs? Hold on, let me get this straight real quick. Hold on, let me get this. What is the equivalency to Mississippi? Mississippi ain't Texas. You're talking about a heavily black and minority driven state, to be honest with you. But then we're talking about the city of Jackson. People miss this, right? Jackson is the capital of Mississippi. Y'all are in the capital. Baton Rouge is the capital of Louisiana. Y'all are in the capital. Tallahassee is the capital of Florida. It's apples to oranges. Are y'all trying to make these vast comparisons? And the way in which people view success and how we navigate society, I always say this. I wonder how y'all maneuver in employment. I wonder how y'all maneuver in entrepreneurship. How do y'all maneuver at work? How do y'all maneuver with contracts, with vendors, with networking? How do y'all maneuver in that? We're listening to some of y'all thinking, I don't understand how y'all are successful in life. Let me finish playing this
summer, right? That they have over at, I believe it was at Belhaven or Millsaps. It was one of them for the Mississippi Athletic Coaches Association. So, again, and granted, it's two different states, so it's probably some other semantics and politics involved in that. I don't live in Texas, so I can't speak to that, right? But I think, in my humble opinion, I just think, I think if they, I think if he has another season, then it gives more teeth to what he was saying. But just because you did something in 1 year, doesn't automatically guarantee that you should just have, whatever you think that you should have.
See, this is wrong with black folks, right? Just keep on trying. Just bootstrap. This that bootstrap black mentality. Just keep on trying. Forget I'm being marginalized. I'm supposed to get something in year one. Why should I work hard? Meanwhile, you got people that has done less that are on the platform. See, understanding the context of what you're talking about, right? We're talking about the rules. They don't apply to all of us. And then there are certain black folks that just say, just put your head down and just keep on trying. Maybe next year. And maybe the year after, maybe I'll get an extra buttermilk biscuit. I don't understand this, man. And I think maybe this is a cultural thing by region or something. Maybe this is a Mississippi thing, and maybe that's why a lot of the ideologies that come out of that camp, we just can't really fathom it. I don't know why we as a culture of people think like this. Let me finish it out just to give him his fair due.
Are they worthy because they won? Yeah, sure they are.
If you're so profitable, why do you sell a course? Well, you know what? Here you go. I don't care. It's all free. I'm giving it away. We have like 6 different
play.
But just because you're worthy doesn't mean that you get it. You know what I'm saying? So I think if he
just because you worthy don't mean you should get it. What kind of average, low expectation mentality is that? But well, just because I deserve it, I shouldn't get it. No, I demand excellence. And not only do I demand it, I demand the actual due that comes with me being excellence based on the rules, not on special treatment, but based on the rules. I don't understand this type of mentality.
Goes back because actually at that point in time, since he said what he said, you go back and you win again, then guess what? Now you have even more of a leg to stand on. You know, now you gave him what you said, even more teeth. But just to say that you automatically should get it just by virtue of you winning some in 1 year, I can't necessarily agree with that. But you know, time will tell. Yeah.
That's a bad mentality. Mistreat me however you want to mistreat me, and I know it ain't right, but hey, let me just keep on working hard, and maybe you'll give me an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I can love the marginalization out of you. If I love you hard enough and I work hard enough, maybe it'll dissipate the marginalization that you're treating me under. That's how some people treat this system. We got to make demand. And I'm gonna get off this. If the ancestors thought like some of how we think today, we still be in chains. Thank God the ancestors was like, nah, I'm demanding greatness. I'm going to forge through what I actually deserve. I'm going to protest. I'm going to march. I'm going to walk. I'm going to take my funds and redistribute it in my community. I'm going to demand the thing that I want because I'm deserving of it, right? Not because you need to treat me special, because this is how the rules have been established and I deserve as a citizen to be treated fairly. And I'm not going to put my head down and just try again my way through oppression. I don't get it. I don't get it. Again, I'm not trying to begrudge Mississippi, but it maybe it's just a Mississippi thing. I don't even want to say it's a South thing because Houston, Texas is the South. I love to have some of these conversations with people, to understand like where their mind is at, because I think this is a bigger issue outside of football. Football is just a microcosm to the dysfunctions that exist within our community.
That quarterback.
If you be honest with me, and if you be honest, let me see. This is my last take. Now, this don't have nothing to do with PV. This is just about, Tennessee State has been, vocal about them winning the game this year against J Stank. I have no qualms about it. I'm gonna be rooting for Tennessee State. I hope they can back up what they saying. I hope they can back up what they saying. Oh, you want the link? HBCU Overdrive? I'm gonna give you the link. Tennessee State has been in YouTube and social media streets talking about not only them guaranteeing a win, but even giving some eval on Lockhart. And I thought that was pretty interesting. I'm gonna pull that up for y'all. Let me make sure I got the right time. Make sure I got the right time stamp on that. Hold on. 2150. Hold on. I hear you, whoever just came in. Yeah, that's the right time stamp. Hold on. Let me get back to that. What we got, Doc? What's up, Doc Holiday in the building? What's up, man?
What's going on, man? Just chilling. Getting ready to just chill it out for the night before I go doctor's appointment in the morning, then go to work tomorrow afternoon.
Okay, must be nice going to work in the afternoon. That's cool.
Nah, it ain't nice to go work in the afternoon because it's too damn hot outside. You know that. you know that.
So what we got, man? You're always the apologist for our local.
I'm not gonna be no apologist because at the end of the day, I speak for myself.
Okay.
I speak for myself, so I ain't no apologist. But with the deal with TJ, with the high school coaches association here in the state, I mean, I think he should have been there. I've always said when he came there, he should have been there because what he did in even his first year at Prairie View, going to a conference championship game, winning that conference championship game, albeit it was against us, but also going to a national championship game. Because at the end of the day, can the University of Texas say that they went to a national championship game last season? No. Can Texas A&M say they went to a national championship game last season? No. Can Texas Tech say that? No. Can SMU? Nobody in the state of Texas on a Division I on the FBS level can say they went to a national championship game, but I can say that Prairie View went because y'all did what y'all did, and he stayed. Like I said, he stayed the course. I have no ill will against y'all, against Prairie View. And I've always said that the THSCA is a good old boy network. I've always said it was a network where you have to work 2-3 times harder than your white counterparts that are in the same profession. But you're not gonna hear it like I'll be honest with you, you're not gonna hear it when you hear somebody by the name of Reginald Samples from Duncanville High School,
right?
Or when he coached at Skyline, or when he coached at Lincoln. That he's not gonna be in, not gonna be in the building. You're not gonna tell him that he can't speak at a coach's clinic. To me, I think he's the godfather of black high school football in the state of Texas. And his resume proves it. And at the same time, I look at it with Tremaine Jackson. What he did at Valdosta State was truly remarkable. Did he get it done, like as far as winning the championship those 2 years? No, he didn't. But guess what? He was a winner at Valdosta. He gets to Prairie View. He became a winner. He predicted that he's going to go to Atlanta. I mean, it could have been, could have wished for a different outcome, but it didn't happen. But at the same time, he still went 9-3.
Help me understand. And I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but help me understand the delusion of J State. Why do they do that?
There's no delusion of J State. There's no delusion of J State. I like I said, I am of the mindset that I'm on the mindset there's no delusion. I just put it like this. I speak for me.
Now, I want to go back to something you said too. Coach did win a national championship at Valdosta. He just didn't win it in 2025. In 2024, he won a national championship with Valdosta.
You sure? Because I thought it was Ferris State.
They from my opinion, from my thoughts, I thought they beat Ferris State in 2024. Let me look that up. Somebody look that up. Let's see. Yeah. NCAA Division II National Championship game against Ferris State. Jackson capped off a historic 2024 campaign with a perfect 13-0 record, guiding Valdosta State to the 11th Gulf State Conference Championship with a flawless 6-0 league mark. So there you go.
I mean, well, he lost to Virginia Union. Well, I can't really tell you about Mississippi high school sports. I mean, I went to Jackson State. I like, at the end of the day, I like football all around. I like football all together. It doesn't matter if it was in Mississippi, here in Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, hell, go to Oklahoma. I don't have no issue with. I like sports. I like football.
No, I get it, man. I don't want to put you on the spot. It just very rarely do I get J-State people to call in. You know what I'm saying? And so I be concerned sometimes when they take coach out of context, when they insinuate coach is some type of sellout. You know what I'm saying? When they say coach is begrudging the SWAC and the historical relevance, like the spin cycle that's coming from, that side of the conference, it's just kind of amazing to watch. You don't like sit back and go like, yeah, we kind of crazy. Like you can kind of admit it, right? We kind of off a little bit. I love. You can say I love us, but we're a little off.
But at the end of the day, what's the key word in fanatic? You're a fan.
Delusion.
Fan ain't nothing but a short name, but for fanatic. That's it. That's all.
And see, that's where we're crippled as PV fans, because logic is spelled, it's embedded in the code, right? It's embedded in the operating system. So you don't see it in the platform, but it's literally in the background coding, right? We have logic. We have a thing where logic, even though we're a fan, but our fan isn't driven by emotion. It's driven by critical thinking skills and logic.
But at the end of the day, but see, you can have it as a fan, you can have it as critical thinking and logic, but also you still got to have some sort of emotion when you come in, when you are a fan. At the end of the day, I'm a Cowboys fan.
That makes sense then.
I'm a Cowboys fan. Back then, when I was younger, when I was a teenager, hell yeah, I would have said, I'd say we're going to the Super Bowl every year. It don't even matter to me. But at the end of the day, when you start, when I look at it, when you get older, it's like, man, we need to do this, we need to do this, and we need to do this. So it's not like, my fandom would never change for my teams. I just come with my own type of thinking about my fandom. What's going on, KD? I mean, and it's the same thing like with G-Boom with the Bears. Like, shoot, everybody, if you're a football fan, regardless of the fact, either if you're good or not, you always gonna have it in the back of your mind that this is gonna be your year. We going to the ship.
So I just got some questions. Listening to TC, I just want to ask: do y'all got y'all black socks ready? Is everybody got their shirts tucked in, and are they showing up on time?
Hey man,
I just want to make sure, because he said that's the standard. So I just want to make sure y'all meeting the standard over there.
The standard is the standard, but what he coming about talking about is the fact that you gotta be on one accord.
No, I get it, man. I get it. Listen, as long as you got your socks black and you got your shirt tucked in and you show up on time, you're gonna be all right this year. That's what's gonna win the SWAC.
That's not what's gonna win the SWAC. That's called discipline right there. You gotta.
Dang, we got Rocky in here. What's up, Rocky? You in here? I didn't even see you in the.
No, I just dropped in a second ago. You called me just moments before.
Oh, okay.
Moments before.
I see you in the chat talking about we got some work to do.
What's up, Rocky? What's up in the Waco streets, bro?
Oh man, I'm just hanging in there. Hey, we got PV coming to Waco, and then they going down the street to Stephenville. So this is gonna be a great year. Just to be able to see the Panthers, man, get it on in my neighborhood. You know what I mean? It's gonna be great. But this is what I want to say. To Sed and to Lionel and all the PV faithful, is that it was a great season last year. It was a tremendous season. It was a watershed moment for Prairie View to not only win the SWAC, and not only win the West, but go to Jackson State and defeat Jackson State on their home field, go to Celebration Bowl, and make a tremendous showing of themselves, right? That was a watershed moment. But what you'll learn, like Jackson State learned, like FAMU learned, is that can you do it again? And that's going to be a much bigger task than what they did last year. Much bigger task.
You the hunter.
Man, it's
No, no. And I'm not saying I don't buy in the theory that you're the hunted, right? I buy in the theory that everybody else is gonna get better. They saw just think about this. Just think about this. Said everybody saw what T-Jack did. Like they saw him say, "I'm not taking any high school. I'm recruiting. I can't win with high school players."
Like they saw him.
I muted him. I muted him. Go ahead, Rocky. Go ahead.
They saw T-Jack pretty much gave them the playbook, right? Of how you come in here, win, and win a championship. Everybody at the very least is gonna get better if they nothing else than just listen to T-Jack.
Hey,
And saw what he was able to do at the end of the day. And on top of this, you're gonna have a very motivated Texas Southern team the first game of the season. Because guess what? I mean, not the first game, but in the Labor Day Classic. You think they were formidable last year? Just think they gonna come in with their hair on fire because not only do they get to beat a chance to beat their rival, they get a chance to beat the SWAC champions.
Yeah,
the reigning SWAC champions. So I just think it's not. I expect Prairie View to be just as good as even better than they were last year. However, I also expect everybody in the conference to take the blueprint that Coach T-Jack put on the field and use it to their advantage as well. And that should make everybody else better. You can't count on everybody else being incompetent, Said.
Sure I can. History says it. Look, listen, this gonna be light work this season. I'm be honest with you, man. When you look at just talent and evaluate the talent, all that sounds really a place driven from emotions. It has no logical basis on it. Everybody has regressed when it comes to recruiting, coaching. I've been hearing about some of the coaching turmoil and issues that exist over there at TSU. They can be as passionate as they want to, but it's not enough talent and it's not enough coaching prowess that's going to be able to deal with PV. We've gotten better. The only team that I can kind of say that have done and made some strides is Jackson State. When you talk about everybody across the board, it's just recycled soup. My grandfather used to say that same soup, just reheated. Ain't nothing changed. It's the same soup reheated. And listen, the problem with TSU is we're going to have a week 0 with Tarleton State. Normally, we got cobwebs going into the TSU game because it's our first game. We haven't played, first uniform, coaches getting mics together, calling plays. But we'll have a week 0 with Tarleton State to get the cobwebs out. I feel sorry for Texas Southern in that aspect.
Or you could be bumped up coming out of that game.
You should.
You could have some lump. You could have some lumps on you coming out of that game.
This is what we know that y'all don't know. We're so deep that it ain't even an issue with being bumped up across the board. I'm telling you, we got players on our third string that will start anywhere else in the SWAC.
So said
at the same time, everybody else in the SWAC done. Like you said, I feel like they got better. We won't know until that ball is
but just look at it. Do you think Sam Shade in his second year is going to be the same team that he was last year, being the first year coach? Come on. Do you think so. Let's just say this. As bad as Southern was last year, do you think they're going to be worse this year?
I think Southern's going to be really bad this year.
But are they going to be worse than they were last year?
They'll be the same.
and
Yeah, they'll
you
be just
go
as bad, in my opinion.
and you go, like I say, I don't know this to be true, but let's say Grambling. Is Grambling gonna be what they were last year or worse?
Grambling will be middle of the road. They'll be the same. I see everybody being the exact same. Maybe one win here or there, but Alcorn hasn't improved. Grambling really hasn't improved. Southern, listen, they won one game last year. Are you literally saying if they get 3 wins this year, they've improved?
Absolutely.
Okay, by technical terms, but a 3-win season is still a poor season.
They won 2 games last year, and I feel like if you go from 2 to 4, that's still an improvement. It ain't the improvement that.
Well, here's another thing, Doc. As bad as they were last year at moments, right? As bad as they were last year at moments, right? They still could win one game last year and be somewhat better than they were last year. Because last year they were terrible at times last year.
But see, this the problem y'all are having versus PV mindset. Y'all are worried about getting better. We're worried about excellence and being the best and winning the celebration.
I understand that, but I'm talking
we're
about
in 2 different stratospheres. Y'all trying to win and look better on the spreadsheet for last year, and we're like celebration.
Let's be honest, Lionel. Like I'm a PV fan. I'm a T-Jack fan. I'm a Texas guy.
You a J State fan. You're not a PV fan.
I like J State too. I like J State and TC Taylor. But here's what I'm saying, Lionel. Prairie View is about to embark on a.
Lionel is my brother. This is sad, but Lionel is my brother though.
Sid. Here's what I'm saying. Sid. Y'all, PV is about to embark on uncharted territory.
Can you repeat?
This is uncharted territory for the Prairie View program.
Can you repeat? Can you repeat?
No, but wait, hold on.
Who's stopping us? Can we repeat? Who's stopping us?
I know.
That's the question. Y'all talking about repeat. In order for us not to repeat, somebody got to stop us. Who's stopping PV?
Hey, we'll see what. Like I said, we'll see what happens.
Hey, said it's not okay. Said I'm not saying anybody can stop you. I'm saying that you can go through interviews and talk to coaches, winning coaches, championship coaches. They all say repeating is more difficult than winning the initial championship. They all say that.
Agreed. I want to say this. First of all, the expectation for every coach in the SWAC and any coach in any program anywhere is each year you want to get better. So the expectation is for all the schools and and teams to get better. Everybody's restocked. You looked at what you didn't have. Coaches have been on the carousel. Everything has kind of changed up. But what we're saying is that just like you said with Jackson State or the guy said earlier, you guys have a standard. What we're saying is that there is no expectation to not do well. We know that it can sound like we got a target on our back because we're reigning SWAC champs. However, if we go off these polls and said I don't know if you still have that, where they were saying that we were 7th, to be able to come 7th in the SWAC. So from a technicality, you seem to be the only one that believes that we are at a point where we got a target on our back because nobody else thinks we got a target on our back. Everybody thinks they've gotten better, and all Said is basically saying is that just from a validating standpoint, we are deeper than we were last year. Now, I will say something, and I'll quote this. Coach Jack says we're more talented this year. However, we got to put it together. Mm-hmm. That's on this side of the thing. We got to put it together because at the end of the day, you can be as talented of a team and have all the great bells and whistles, but if you can't put it together, then the outcome won't be what you're expecting. So we're working on that. Fall camp started today. Day 1 was today. The biggest thing though is you feel like we should have a target on back. Nobody else feels like that, and we're okay with that. But at the end of the day, the standard is still the standard. Our bar has risen. We're not expecting to go in any way losing. Our out of conference games, Tarleton State, Stephen F., and Baylor, those are some heavy games. And if outside of not winning, and if we do lose, we play a very tight game, it's going to give us an understanding and give that team an understanding of what they have to be able to work with, and we're just gonna get better. But we're not going in there expecting to lay down. We're not going in there expecting not to win. So it's going to be a very, very interesting season. I get it. We should be going into it. You're right when you say every coach that has won a championship, they always say the second season is more difficult. It is. And especially with us, we have 76 new players.
Yeah,
76. So you got to put that you got to put that all together. So one thing about it is last year we had 72. So most of them were a gang of them were seniors, and then a gang of them did their own transfer thing. So we bought in, moved out, bought in, moved out. But the biggest thing is you take the time to be able to get them to buy into a system. You take the time to put it all together, and you do it, and you put your product out on the field and see where you are, and you make whatever adjustments. But like Brass was just saying, we're pretty deep. And so we have, a second string, the third string that could, if they went to other schools, that could probably start. More than likely, on a high end, 90% of them will start. So we're at a point now. We want to make sure that we've addressed some of the issues that we had last year. We hope that some of the other coaches, we hope Southern has addressed their thing. We hope, and everybody has to put their product on the field. But what we're saying is the standard is standard, and we're not expecting to go in there laying down.
And the only thing that I'm saying is because like I said, I believe in Coach Jack. I think the team is gonna be better. Now here's what I also say, and I think this is something that Prairie View fans should think about as the season unfolds. Not that you will, but I'm just saying that you can. Y'all could start the season 0-4 and still end up in the SWAC championship. See, that's the reality, and that's why I say for my money, I expect Prairie View to be in the SWAC championship this season again. I expect because at the end of the day, no team in the conference has as much of a rope as Prairie View has based on their schedule. Meaning this, they don't play Jackson State, right? So that means they play Alabama State. To me, once they get through TSU as a conference game, the only team that's going to threaten them on the schedule is Alabama State. That's how I feel. That's the only thing. So in essence, and if you look at Texas Southern, and you look at them the past 2 years, let's really look at them. Every game that they won, they've been in the dogfight. So you can expect. I don't suspect that they'll separate from a talent standpoint this year based on anything that we've heard or seen from them. So even if they do well, they could end up 5-3. Y'all could end up 6-2 in conference. And in a scenario like that, even though they may beat y'all in the Labor Day Classic, y'all still go to the SWAC championship. So I think that's very possible, considering how the schedules play out. That's why I say Prairie View had.
Do you know how our record is against Texas Southern? We almost got like a 10-game winning streak against Texas Southern.
I'm not saying that y'all will. I don't believe y'all will lose the game. I'm just saying y'all could, and y'all still would be my favorite to win the West. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, all right.
None of that's gonna happen.
I can ride with that.
I could tell you this, coming from Jackson State in the East, I only pretty much stopgap would be Alabama State, and we play them November the 14th.
And I ask you this: if y'all lose to Alabama State, what are y'all chance of winning the conference, going to the conference championship?
It's a wrap.
It could be slim. It could be slim to none because
who can you depend on? Who can you depend on beating Alabama State other than Prairie View?
Because I put it like this: I don't think Bama State will lose to FAMU. They would. I'm sure they probably would dog walk Alabama A&M in the Magic City Classic again, because they done beat them the last 3-4 years now.
4,
right? Because when you look at our division, it's only Jackson State and Alabama State. What does FAMU got to play for? They can't play for anything because they on restriction. They on sanctions. What can Mississippi Valley play for? They can't play nothing. They on sanctions.
Yeah, but they can play for spoiler. The loss still counts.
I mean, yeah, they can play spoiler. And to me, I put it like this. As for JSU, we worry about the game November the 14th against Alabama State. And not only that, we gonna look at the game against FAMU because we don't know what Quinn Gray is gonna bring as far as when it comes to FAMU. We saw what he did when he was at Albany State, and he was 2 games away of going to a national championship game. But I see it as that is that bump in the road for us to get ourselves back into that, into the championship game.
In the grand scheme of things, y'all have to beat everything. Y'all have to beat Alabama State. If y'all don't beat Bama State, y'all season, y'all are not. Yeah, y'all are not going to SWAC.
But Rocky, we have beaten Bama State the last 4 out of 5 years.
I get that. My point is, if you don't though, and that's where I say you have to look at Prairie View and their schedule. They could lose to their rival, and still they have a path to the championship game.
But look, it's a lot more parity in the East. I agree.
And that's the thing.
I don't. Okay, go ahead, Lionel. Go ahead, Lionel.
Yeah, because I think there's 2 things. There's 2 things, right? One, Jackson State's going to be in a lot more dogfights than y'all are thinking they are this year. That's first and foremost, right? Jackson State of 2026 is not the Jackson State of 21, 22, 23, 20. It's not the same program right now, right? They're going to be in a lot more dogfights this year. Now, they may get through those dogfights. They're going to be in a lot more dogfights than I think you guys are giving, than the reality is showing, right? And I hope they don't have, which I don't think Coach TC and them had a mindset that y'all are talking right now, which is like Alabama State or bust. I hope they got the mindset that every game that we're going to focus and we're going to pay attention, right? Because these teams have a chance to clip us. So I think they're going to play a lot closer games. It's going to depend on execution down the stretch, and we'll see. So I think they have a chance. I do think they have an opportunity to lose multiple games this year in the SWAC versus Alabama State. I think Alabama State has a better chance of going undefeated in the conference than them giving Jackson. That's 1. 2, Prairie View have 12 SWAC championships, right? So we're on PV versus everybody. Y'all not just gonna come on this platform and act like this is something that our program ain't done because we got this big 80-game losing streak in the middle of our greatness. Let's first and foremost, let's just correct this in the first place. Right. We done won 12 SWAC championships. We definitely know what it means like to come back in the next season and being a champion from the year before, because there's only a handful of teams that we can count on one hand that have more SWAC championships than us in the first place. So let's get that clear, right? You know what I'm saying? Like we just put out a graphic with Choo Brackens on it. First NFL quarterback drafted in all HBCUs, and he came from Prairie View. We're not gonna talk like this right now, okay? We're gonna correct ourselves. But saying that to say, listen, nobody can beat the SWAC champions because that was 2025. That was last year. That has nothing to do with this year at all whatsoever. This is a completely new year. And see, I love the mindset that T-Jack is bringing and he's giving to the team, and it's literally getting us to the culture of the fan base. They're like, y'all can never nothing can happen to take away, just like nothing can take away South Carolina State's comeback and them winning the Celebration Bowl. Nothing can take away that, right? Guess what? Nothing can also take away the fact that we went in Jackson and dominated them and won the SWAC championship in 2020. Ain't nothing take away that. It don't matter. If we lose 5 games this year, you ain't beat the SWAC champs. The SWAC champs beat you last year, right? You know what I'm saying? That's point blank period. The question is, are you going to be the SWAC champs this year? That's the question, right? And so that's our focus, is just this year, this game, Tarleton State. That's all we worry about and focused on right now. Tarleton, because why everybody in this space, HBU space, talking as if these world beaters, this is the FBS program that we can't touch. We know we about to walk in here and be in a dogfight, and we looking at coming out with the win. That's point blank period, right? So I just want to come in and say, let's not talk as if Prairie View ain't known what winning is like. Okay, as I said before, it's how can a team, again, some of the teams y'all talking about don't got more national titles than us, which is crazy, right?
I don't think that wasn't my argument.
I'm not saying it's your point, right? But sometimes things get lost in translation because certain statements are made. And since we here on this platform, we're gonna always make sure we correct that and say, no, as a program overall, football, what do we want to talk about? We know what it is to defend the title because we have more titles than plenty of programs in this conference, right? And we got more national titles than some of your blue bloods in this doggone conference, right? So again, that's the big anomaly. That's the big thing with it. It's like, man, how can you have a program that has this big losing era, but yet clearly they have to win a lot because they got a lot of national titles in the HBCU space and a lot of SWAC championships, right? So I'm just coming on to say that, right? You know what I'm saying? So listen, I'm going back in my corner now, you know what I'm saying? But I just had to come up and just say, listen, let's not act like we ain't got 12. Like we win again, we pushing our corn back down, right? Let's be clear. You know what I'm saying? We get another national title, right? Literally, we are already in the top 10, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking about, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's talk with some respect on here. You feel me? But anyway,
I put it like this, Nana. Every you know, as a team, you take everything 1 week at a time. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's mindset should be going 1-0 every week. I have to say it like that when you look at it with Pastor Chinnisberry over at South Carolina State, his whole motto is, other than the mailman got to go to work, it's going 1-0 every week. And I think that's the mindset every program should have, going 1-0 every week. I think that's the same mindset that Prairie View gonna have. Y'all go 1-0 every week. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, I ain't delusional. I come with common sense.
Yeah, but respectfully, Prairie View mindset ain't the J State mindset. We got two different mindsets, man.
Everybody got two different.
We got two different mindsets. They got that mediocrity. Like, you know, we just playing for a SWAC championship and to go to Atlanta to the, you know, Celebration Bowl type of mindset. We got an excellence mindset. We got a dog mentality. We want to punish opponents. We want to play the best. We want to play the most qualified FCS schools. We want to play FBS schools. We want to be the beacon of what black college football looks like. Hell, what college football looks like. We got a different type of DNA and mindset, all the while being excellent black student athletes at the same time and producing productive people and excellence live here. We got a whole different thing, and that's just a disadvantage. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's just a disadvantage that a lot of other schools, more importantly J-State, have when it comes to us. I sat down with Coach O and I sat down with Ashley, and I can just
try to play me up at media day. Come on now. But no, man, it's like this. It's like this. Y'all focus on Tarleton State. Jackson State is focused on Tennessee State in Nashville coming August 29th. So that's a mindset. We worried about right now. We worried about those royal blue and white Tigers up there in Nashville, and how we gonna try to dominate them on their home turf. And then we go to the next week. We got our Labor Day Classic against Edward Waters. And we just want to do we're gonna go 1-0 every week.
I got my money on Tennessee State. I ain't gonna lie to you, Doc.
Boy, you smoking crack.
I got my money on Tennessee State.
You smoking crack. Stay off the weed.
I'm gonna be at that game. Y'all gonna be hype. Y'all gonna be having a good time. Y'all gonna be tailgating and drove down. Y'all gonna have the numbers and all that. Cause I told Coach, right? Y'all gonna get perfect attendance award. And I've been talking to the commissioner on y'all behalf. Y'all should like this. I told them we need a perfect attendance award and trophy that we can give to J-State because they're so proud of how many people that can come out to a stadium and how many people that can fill a stadium that they deserve a cup for that. They deserve a gold star for that, for the amount of people that they can bring out and put into a building. And so I think, we should start advocating for that more. And he said, well, I got to get a petition. So I'm get an online petition and get it started so y'all can get, a gold star for participation because that's what's going to happen. And that's the only thing good that's going to happen at that Tennessee State game, in my opinion.
Hey, Kerry, man. Hey, first of all, let me say this to my man, Kerry Mix. Man, I want to send my condolences out to you. I see what I saw on Twitter. Send my condolences to you and your family, man. So I just want to put that out there. But at the end of the day, it's always going to be just stay by 40. That is always going to be that's our motto. It's always going to be just stay by 40. And I want to see y'all at the vet in December for the SWAC championship game. Now we got to come down to Prairie View. I make my little 4-hour drive, my little 3-hour drive from Dallas to PV.
Bro, don't nobody want to go to no vet, a 1950 stadium that's holding on by like a Band-Aid and some masking tape. Like, come on, man. Nobody's trying to come to the vet.
There. You was there, right?
Yeah, and we you know what? I'm gonna show you what was there. Hold on. Hold on, I had the wrong clip. That's what I get for playing. That's what I get for playing. Here you go. That's it. It was quiet in that vet.
Yeah, they were looking real sad.
Yo, man, come on, man.
I mean, look, I couldn't be there. I was at the house.
When you hear that P point, we wrapping that game up. That's what that means. You hear that P point, we wrapping it up. All right.
The last time I heard that P point in the championship game, y'all was getting waxed by FAMU.
What are you talking about? Black history? You talking about Black history or current history? Because we could talk about Black history is one thing, but current history says something totally different. I's free now.
Here you go. You got jokes.
Doc, welcome to the golden era, man. Welcome to the golden era. The golden era Prairie View, where we gonna win championships, and the best interviews are gonna be Prairie View's head coach. I mean, that's just the reality right now. Okay, you know what I'm saying? We gonna carry the pail for the conference, just like we started it. You know what I'm saying? It's back. How it begins is how it's gonna end. That's all it is, man. But I'm gonna holler at y'all, man.
I appreciate you, Lionel, man. You coming in, set the record straight. Look, let them know, man. A lot of PV fans don't know this. 12 SWAC championships and 6 national championships.
That's right.
Don't let these folks try to lie to you and gaslight you and tell you anything's different. Nobody has more national championships other than Grambling University with 15.
Yep.
After that, Prairie View has 6. Nobody has more than that. Southern has 4. J-Stank has 4. Alcorn has 1.
We got 5.
Okay. What's that fuzzy math? Is that fuzzy math y'all got down there at J-Stank?
It ain't fuzzy math. We got 5. That's true. We got 5.
Okay. I'll go back and look at it.
When we get back down to Atlanta, we beat up on whoever MEAC team it is. Shoot, we'll have 6. But hey, man, we got to get we got to do better in the Celebration Bowl because the MEAC has been having our number since the damn thing started up. Glad that one school in Greensboro ain't there no more.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of inequity in that. they end their season a week before the SWAC ends their season.
Yeah.
They have an extra week of rest. They don't play as many games as we play as well. It's not apples. It's not. I'm not making excuses, but it's not apples to apples when you start talking about the MEAC and you start talking about regionally. You know how far it is for PV to come to Atlanta versus like a North Carolina, Central or South for them to come. They're like a 3 hour. They was hopping in the car for 3 hours. That's like driving to Dallas or something. But we essentially have to take a flight to come to Atlanta to that Celebration Bowl. So it's a lot of dynamics that are underlined that we don't really take consideration for when we start talking about the Celebration Bowl. Hey, and you're right. Let's not forget, Jay Stank lost 2 times before they finally won in the 3rd time. So Jay State can never tell me anything about PV losing in the Celebration Bowl when Dion couldn't do it and TC lost in it. Y'all, it took y'all 3 tries to even finally get it.
TC didn't lose in the Celebration
I mean, I'm sorry,
Bowl.
he won. The 2 that they lost was under Dion. You're right. It took y'all 3 tries. It took y'all 3 tries to finally get it.
I mean, hey, Alcorn couldn't get it done for the 3 times they went. Grambling got it done 1 time when they went. We got it one time when we went. I mean,
no, it's all good. This is a 2-man race, really, and a half with Alabama State. Because once Body's gone, Alabama State, I don't know really how relevant they're going to be in the conversation. It's essentially a PV and Jackson State conversation, really, when you're talking about the SWAC, in my opinion. That's just really where we are. But look, I'm not gonna hold the show all night. I know people going crazy in the chat. I love to have people come up. I put the link in there. People welcome and free to have conversation. Look, we are going to be, I heard that PV is about to have, a new medical school. Did you hear about that, Carl?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, we got a new medical school. We're gonna be treating delusional people this season. And so we're gonna be helping them eradicate this kind of affliction that they have over there in Jackson, Mississippi. And we've been accredited to actually, give some prognosis and diagnosis to the affliction for the people over there in Jackson, Mississippi.
Man, it's got to be something in the water.
No, it ain't nothing in the water. We just the proud people, just like y'all are proud people.
It should be, and I love the great competition, man. But I'll be honest with y'all, man. This is gonna be exciting. I love to keep the same energy up, man, and it'd be dope to get a lot more of the school fan base even on here just to be able to have these discussions because this is good, and it's good to be able to see how people think. But right now, let me tell you. 1 game at a time, you're right. It's 1-0 every week. That's the way we're approaching it. But let me tell you, we have high expectations, and so should everybody else. But we definitely have high expectations this year.
You got something, Doc, before I close out, man? And shout out to this outro I'm gonna play too, man. Carl is on the outro, so y'all stick around for this outro. Carl and his group is on the outro. We talking about 90s at PV. I was still in middle school in the 90s at PV, so I don't know nothing about PV at this time and era. But
I told you I was. Hold on, let me turn my camera on. I was this close to going to Prairie View out of Cedar Hill High School.
Damn, you made the wrong decision.
Nah, I think I made the best decision for me.
I'm originally from Funky Town, so I know. You know what I'm saying? I get it.
What school you went to? Dunbar?
Yep.
Them Flying Wildcats.
That's right.
Look, man, we got to talk about how we can get Fort Worth football back on track, man, because it ain't been right since the mid 2000s, dog.
I heard. I'm kind of out the loop, but I heard. I hadn't been back to the crib in a minute. That's what's up.
Yeah, I'm gonna see the Hill Longhorn. Still hate them dudes over down the street on with that green and gold called DeSoto. Still don't like them dudes up the road called Duncanville. I could care less. Don't like Waxahachie. They can. I ain't gonna say that. we on a good,
family. We on the family show.
Here, you come to mine. I talk all the noise, talk all the junk whenever I want to. But at the end of the day, I think I made the best decision. In fact, like I said, my niece made the best decision. She in Prairie View. She graduated next year.
That's what's up.
No, that's what's up, man.
She graduates in the sesquicentennial year.
Listen, shout out to changing generational curses. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to that. Shout out to her being able to change that.
You gotta understand. When I was growing up, I lived in a house where
it's all good.
My aunt was a Prairie View Panther, graduated in 1991. You don't think I know all the stories about what happened on the hill?
Well, let me tell you, I don't even want to ask your aunt names. That's when I was there.
She started out at East Texas. It wasn't East Texas State. It was East Texas. I think she went to East Texas Baptist first, and then she transferred to Prairie View.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm the first in my whole family, out of me and my sisters, just in my whole immediate family, to go to college. So
that's
when I was it was like I said, it was the best decision for me, and it made me who I am right now. Just like Prairie made y'all to who y'all are right now. But at the end of the day, it's still Jackson State by 40. We're gonna get that get back in the SWAC championship game, either in Jackson or in Jackson, Mississippi, Texas, however we want to call it.
So, Brass, you got to make sure you. So it is 11:15 Central Standard Time. I know it's 9:15 where you at, Brass, but it's July 29th. We marking this. We are this is definitely something we're pinning because we're gonna make sure we rebounds to this because we got to bring this back up. This is called keeping receipts because we got to be able to address this when it's time on either end. And I'm not talking one sided. I'm gonna say either end, right? We got to make sure we address this. So y'all just kind of remember this. I said it. It's July 29th, 11:15 Central Standard Time. We're gonna make sure we bring this back up. I guess it's gonna be sometime in December, maybe, Brass. Or right before December.
Yep.
And that's keeping receipts. So make sure you mark this one down. Put an asterisk.
No, we'll check in with Lionel. Lionel has a whole graphic with keeping the receipts.
Oh, okay. Shout out to Lionel.
He got all the receipts on it. It's already something that we've been doing, and we've been keeping up with it even since SWAC Media Day on all the receipts. I've already had my receipt. My receipt is TC Taylor's going to be on the hot seat next season. After not winning the SWAC.
I told you.
After not winning the SWAC and losing to PV, all of this love affair with TC, I'm here. You heard it here first.
Why are you going after my
I just want credit for it. Right here in 2025, I want credit for it. You're going to be hearing all kind of excuses, and man, we need to make a change.
Now you trying to talk down on my classmate right there. Come on now, man.
I can already see the writing on the wall. I can already see he's not talking in the media. He's not vocal. TJ actually makes it worse for him. By Coach TJ being so vocal and so being out there, it creates animus internally within the J Stank ranks because they're like, damn, why can't our coach be like that? And I know secretly J State wish they had a coach like TJ. That's why they so envious of him because they think that matches their identity.
We are just fine with TC Taylor.
Y'all don't like. Listen,
I've known TC since we were freshmen at Jackson State in 1997, 98.
We understand, man. We used to have a quiet coach that was just a humble, good man, and PV couldn't stand it. Quietly, we couldn't stand it because we wanted him to speak up and speak out. And so we can see it because we lived it.
Yeah.
We know that quiet, non-verbal stuff ain't rocking. And that's what y'all are suffering in silence. It's okay, J State fans. Blink twice. Blink twice. We know y'all are in distress. It's okay. And next season, y'all gonna have enough of it, and y'all gonna start talking about it publicly next season about how can we move forward and kind of transition away from TC. That's what's gonna happen next season. It's gonna be 50-50. It's gonna be two sides of the fact. Well, coach got us there. We didn't win 3-10, and then we done lost twice now to PV. We done lost 2 SWAC championships. How can we get over the hump? And the first thing people gonna say is TC failed. I'm trying to tell you. You heard it here first.
Okay. All right. Receipts.
TC. No, we got receipts. We got receipts. Hey, don't get it twisted. We got receipts. I can go back to this. I can go onto your page and go right back to this thing right here and pull it up after we beat y'all.
What?
No doubt. So look, I love y'all, man. I always end the show with the same quote. Stay strong, stay true, but most of all, stay productive. Because what PV produces productive people. That's what's up, man. Man, thank you, Doc. Thank you, Carl King Mays. Yeah. Check him out on the Coach's Show. He co-hosts the Coach T-Jack show, and they got good content on there. Check them out. PV in the building, man. You're not just mine, but your 2025 SWAC champions, and not just mine, but your future 2026 SWAC champions. Y'all know what it is. That's how we do it. That's how we do it, man. Thank y'all for coming out. Thank y'all for coming out. We gonna hit it with Carl Mays.
Keep it Fahrenheit and call me Mustafa. That be me. The K to the ING. My mood is excellent and my dream is Eloise.
A soft whisper. She asked me, do I have the guts to kiss her? But as I sit and wonder, is she real? I picture. So what comes after? Put on Anita's rapture. Her feelings I must capture. Her soft lips. I take them quick and put them in my pocket. Cause they're out of this world like Space Lee and his sprockets. Somebody pitch me quick, I think I'm dreaming. Damn, she got me fiending. Her skin is so soft. It reminds me of the smoothest piece of silk. She's so sweet, her breath smells like carnation milk.
So sweet. Carnation milk. Of all things, I'm your lady. Sweet baby. Hey, what up, boo? Words out, I'm the diva that you speak about. I hear you smitten about my well-written repertoire. You's a superstar, but it's you that I shine for. We go together like jeans, t-shirts, and sneakers. Player haters try to come between us, but never that. It is simply all of that. Rewind that. It is simply all of that. Hoes be jealous, so they fellas wanna frolic. Gems I spit can't be bought, sold, or aborted. You look retarded, trying to go against the gift. Love is shared, the love is multiplied. Put your freaks aside, forget about your weak pride. Run away with me and let's do it on the wild side.